Woohoo! Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Blank Page Tavern, a group of writers who wanted an excuse to play Dungeons and Dragons and procrastinate our works in progress. How is everybody doing this morning? And are you ready for a session of Tomb of Annihilation?
I'm so ready. I've been looking forward to this for so long.
I know. I feel like that we've successfully gotten to the second part of the second entry into the campaign. It means it's going to happen. You know, there's always that risk in a D&D campaign that everything
means
falls
we're
apart.
all gonna die.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Means we're all gonna die.
I mean, yeah. Thank you. Davaisha, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing okay. I was running around during the 2-minute intro, so I'm a little bit winded.
Oh no.
I was like, let me quickly throw on some blush. I feel like my face looks flat.
Oh, the blush looks lovely though. You picked a great color.
Thanks. It's the only one I have.
Becca, how are you doing this morning?
Good. I'm just my brain is slowly waking up, so
Same.
I'm ready to fight something.
Oh. We shall see.
Okay.
Mycah,
Yeah.
And Katie, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I spent all day working yesterday, with my brother and sister-in-law. They just had a baby, so we were over at their house, and
that's nice.
so I'm a little bit tired this morning, but ready to get into it. So
excellent. Oh man, I meant to do this right at the start. Hold on. Okay, because we're in a tavern. What's everybody drinking today?
I have Arizona green tea in my little florally leafy cup.
Oh, nice.
Very Mycah.
I managed to make some instant coffee and my okay. And some sweet tea and some water because I'm a 3-drink girly.
Oh, classic.
I just have water, and then I have a little bit of green tea in a Darth Maul cup.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I feel like this is going to become a theme that every week or every time we play, Becca's just going to come to us with a really cool mug.
I collect mugs, so it's not, it's kind of an unfair.
That makes sense. Katie, what's your drink of choice?
Naturally, I'm having a Coca-Cola because
at
I love
9 in the morning. Love that for you.
I don't have any rum to put it in, unfortunately. But
and I, the DM, am drinking water, but it kind of looks like it's in a beer bottle, so ale. I'm having some ale.
Pale ale.
All right, I'm gonna say a quick chat to I'm pretty sure 2 people who are here with us. And that is Mon, hi, our number 1 fan, and Ava, welcome. And we're so glad that you are here joining us today. Ava loves the hair. Oh yeah, everybody tell us what you're drinking. Just Ava is drinking sweet decaf iced tea. I was just telling my sister this, how we have a brand of iced tea that we need to find a decaf version of because we're always drinking that crap at 6 p.m. and then realize it's like drinking a cup of coffee. And there's no one I'd rather be ride or die with. Small.
You mean Ryder tries?
That was so bad. Get out.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Everybody ready? Is everybody ready to dive into the second session and really arguably the first session of Tomb of Annihilation? Last session was just getting to know you. Icebreaker session. And once again, I don't have a little interlude to signal the entry into the game. So we're just going to go. All right. So first I'm going to do a recap. Last time we introduced the world, we opened in the city of Sharonal, which I have said has Winterfell vibes. Our 4 adventurers today, Mycah, Tephra, Alara, and Val. They work at the advisory in Sharonal for the Great House that is kind of oversees Sharonal. That is the Great House Silvane. And Sharonal is in the far north of the nation of Coventry. And due to these four having some interpersonal conflict, they were assigned to be a party for the past couple of months, and they've been training together and performing chores and other tasks in the hopes that it would strengthen their bond. Whether or not that's been successful, who's to know? Who's to know? After making very quick work, unfortunately, of some violent August and screamers down in the dungeon, the four were brought up to the council room where several members of the advisory said that they were needed for a mission that would take them far from Coventry. After some initial hesitancy, they all agreed. And a man named Maximilian Silvane, who is the head of the seat of surgery. He's a cleric and in charge of all like health related things at the Great House, and also the husband of the lady of the house, the head of the house, who is Syndra Silvane. He took you to the family quarters where a severely weakened Syndra greeted you. And she had fallen victim to the rumored death curse, an affliction that drains energy from anyone who has ever been resurrected and prevents any resurrection at all. Syndra's sources in the Harpers have pinpointed the cause of the death curse, a necromantic artifact they call the Soulmonger. They know it is located in Chult, which is a peninsula on the continent of Lyra. I'd forgotten my own southern peninsula's name last time. That's what the southern peninsula or the southern continent is called, guys. It's called Lyra. But other than they can't specify further the location, any of their attempts to try and locate it within Chult have failed, but they are confident that it is in Chult. All right. Before I, really dive in with this, I just want to say, disclaimer, I have prepared. I promise. I prepared for this session. However, Tomb of Annihilation, up until certain points, is a sandbox campaign. So it's really going to be up to you guys to lead the story. You have your main hook, obviously, but it could go anywhere. So just be aware of that to the four of you. And also just be aware that if you guys decide to do something that I didn't think you would do, it might take me a second to, go into the campaign book and read what's up. So just have patience, and maybe we could take a 2-minute. I could play the intro again. We could take a break and people can go to the bathroom as I read up on information. Anyway. All right. So just as we were leaving, so the last thing that happened last time was Syndra and Max shared a fairly emotional goodbye, and then a weakened Syndra began a teleportation spell, which Mycah added guidance to get you guys all to Chult and to specifically the settlement of Port Nyanzaru. And very dramatically, the last thing I did was talk about how all of this energy was building inside of you, and then and you arrive. You appear. Oh, wait. Duh. Okay. You appear in a tropical city under the blazing sun. The familiar sounds of a harbor, creaking ropes, slapping waves, heavy barrels rolling around cobblestones, mingle with voices shouting and cursing in an unfamiliar language filled with clicks, inhalations, and sing-songy words that make it sound almost musical. The aroma of unfamiliar spices and tropical fruit mixes with the wharf-side smells of fish, tar, and canvas. Beyond all that, Port Nyanzaru is an explosion of color. Buildings are painted in bright shades of blue, green, orange, and salmon pink, and their walls are adorned with murals portraying giant reptiles and mythical heroes. Every building sports baskets and clay urns of colorful flowers and is draped in leafy flowering vines. Minstrels in bright clothing adorned with feathers and shells perform on street corners. Multicolored sun awnings flutter atop the city walls. A crowd of children dressed in feathered hats and capes races past you, squealing in delighted terror as a street performer costumed as a big-toothed lizard stomps and roars behind them. The whole city seems to be bustling, sweating, laughing, swearing, and singing. Welcome to Port Nyanzaru.
Can I have a refresher on exactly who came with us in this transportation spell?
There's 4 of you in Syndra.
Okay, so Syndra is with us.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
But she's not doing too well. Still.
No, and in fact, let's see, you were all 4 in a circle and holding hands, and let's say she was holding hands with Tephra and Alara, and as soon as you arrived, Syndra kind of just like not a full dramatic collapse into you, but definitely heavily leaning on you as if her knees are buckling.
Okay.
Also,
I'm
guys,
gonna support her.
what is this? I do not like it. Too nice. Too dynamic. Okay.
Should we take her to an
ask if
inn?
she needs my assistance walking.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm gonna ask if she needs my assistance walking.
I just need a moment to breathe. Just give me a second. She kind of like clings to you a little bit.
Should we take her to an inn so she can rest?
Well, she has a friend here, right?
Yeah. Did we know where this friend is going to be to like take her there?
So Syndra says, yeah, she takes a kind of moment to collect herself, and she just kind of, that spell took way more out of me than I was expecting. I don't think I'm going to be able to assist you today in the port as I thought I might be able to. But yes, an inn is an excellent idea. There are 2 inns in this city that I would recommend for, advisees of our great house. The Thundering Lizard, if you're looking to have just a great raucous time, it's very similar to the Blank Page Tavern in Sharonall. And also Kaya's House of Repose, if you are more focused on wanting a good night's sleep. Both inns are located near the Red Bazaar, but she kind of looks around, and there's so much hustle and bustle. As you can see, there are, as I mentioned, minstrels and children running and fishermen. And there are also several people who are kind of in carts, in rolled wagons that are covered, and they're actually being drawn by beasts of burden, unlike any you've ever seen. These are not cows. These are not horses. These are giant lizard type creatures. And she kind of looks at one. She says, I think I need to call a cab. I don't know what else they're called. And I have a friend, an old adventuring friend. His name is Wakanga, and he will let me stay with him. So and I know he'll take the best of care of me. So I think I should go and rest, and then maybe perhaps tomorrow morning, after I've had a night of rest to recover from the journey. As Mom says, yeah, a tuk-tuk. I'll meet you at, no matter what inn you choose. Let's just say let's meet at the at Kaya's House of Repose right around breakfast time, and we can kind of really get everything figured out. But familiarize yourself with the city today. Before we go on an expedition, you'll need supplies and to gather some information. So there's much to be done, and I'm sorry that I cannot assist you today. I just do not have the energy for it. But tomorrow, after a night of rest, I will be back on my feet.
Before we part, can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Probably should have done this while we were conversing, but the elven man that was with Max, who was that?
Oh, Samuel. He's another member of the advisory.
Okay. I just didn't recognize him.
He keeps to himself, but he's a very dear old friend.
Okay.
And I happen to have another question. You teleported kind of abruptly.
But you guys did all bring your stuff. That was all made clear, if that was your question.
Okay, yeah. No, kind of secondarily to that.
Okay.
We're expected to use our own money for this.
They're per diem.
No, not at all. I mean, there are expenses that the house will cover, and of course you'll be reimbursed up to a certain point. But Wakonga actually holds some of my fortune for me whenever I do come to Port Nyanzaru. There's so much available in this city to be purchased, and as we all know, sometimes it's the best idea not to travel with a lot of gold. So Wakonga actually, I do have funds for us to use here in Port Nyanzaru. So he will be, helping fund us. Are you okay?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Mullen's comment.
Oh, wait. Yeah, but I would say you guys know, though, like, in the past, not that you have ever had a sanctioned adventure outside the walls of Sharonall, but every adventurer who goes typically gets not a per diem, but like that idea of this is your allotment for the adventure, and it's typically for a party, a stipend. Thank you. For a party, it's about 50 gold.
Okay. Thank you. Don't mean to be crass.
Yeah. So
conversation.
That's okay. So she turns to Mycah and she goes, Mycah, Val, will you escort me over there? There's like towards the thoroughway, so I can hail a tuk-tuk.
Of course.
All right. And so the three of you walk over, and Alara and Tephra, I'm going to ask you guys to deafen yourselves, and I'm going to remove you from the stream for a second. So will you mute your computers, and then once I add you back into the stream, that's your sign to come back. Not just mute, but deafen, please.
So no sound at all.
No sound, like you can't hear.
Okay.
Goodbye, friends.
So she doesn't immediately hail a tuk-tuk, but she faces forward and she says, I'm so grateful to all of you for coming, but I think you two are the only that I can trust with this information. My oldest son, Million, which she doesn't even need to say my oldest son because you guys both know that her oldest son, Maximilian, who's named after his father, he's about 17 years old. He was very eager to prove himself, and he went with the first round of adventurers. We haven't heard from them in a week. Obviously, destroying the Soulmonger is critical to the safety of the entire realm. But please, please, find Million, please. All right. And then she hails. Do you guys say anything to her?
Of course. Anything I can do.
Thank you. All right.
So incapable of speaking.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so she hails a tuk-tuk, and a kind of dinosaur pulled, like a dinosaur just goes kind of pulling up. And the driver stops, and oh boy, here we go. Goes, oh, where are you heading today? And she climbs in, and gosh, she just looks so frail. It's very concerning. And but she gives him direction. She says, to the merchant palaces, please. And he kind of gives her a wide-eye look, and he goes, which one? She goes, Congo Tomu, and he trottles off. All right. Do the two of you have a little side moment, or do you return to Tephra and Alara?
Probably just sharing a look of immense concern.
Yeah.
All right. And then you return? All right. Wait. There we go. All right. And now, truly, I turn it over to you guys. Now it's up to you. Totally.
Hey, Mycah knows exactly what they're doing. So they are going to try and find, I guess, bookshops perhaps would be the best place because they want information on the jungle, on like plants and animals in the area, and also any like history type books is what they're looking for because they want to. Obviously, Mycah is very interested in archaeology and all that, so they want to know about like any ancient civilizations that might have had an influence in this area.
Mm-hmm. How do you guys strategize this?
Okay, so we were just losing our voices. We were just on the other side of the street while they were having this conversation.
Well, so roll me.
Because wouldn't we be asking them what did she say?
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Should I share?
Hold on. Let me think. Roll me an insight check.
Okay. Should I share my screen? Are we doing that?
You are welcome to share your screen, yes.
All right, let me.
Also, I love this comment. That is also where I would go first to Newtown to buy more books.
Okay, so which one is it again?
Insight. So
okay.
That one that says +2.
A lot of insight there.
So, So, Alara, these folk, the Syndra just needed help crossing over to where it was pretty busy, and the two of them helped her get into a tuk-tuk, and now they're coming back. That's
Okay.
your kind of.
My only thing is that now Mycah has a plan, and we didn't have a plan before, so I'm.
I'm supposed to roll the insight checks for you anyway. Sorry, I need to remember that that's how I'm going to play in the future, is that I'm rolling insight checks for you guys. I understand that you, as Becca, as a player, have the intelligence and the insight to be like, interesting. But given that insight roll, Alara is not suspicious or does not think anything of the fact that the two of them just walked her over. And
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm just thinking about like, because Mycah now has like, okay, we're going to the library, we're going to this, like she now has a plan, and we didn't have a plan before. So would I be questioning Mycah, or would I be, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of thing. Like, okay, where did we come up with this plan? Okay, now we're going.
You're free to ask Mycah that question. Feel free to ask Mycah that question.
Mycah,
I mean,
why should I follow you? What the heck?
We're here going into uncharted, semi-charted territories. Obviously, I would want to know as much as I can. You're free to stay here. I can go off on my own.
You're acting like you know where we're gonna go. Do we know where we're gonna go? Do you know where we're gonna go?
No, I'm trying to find as much information as I can about this area. Anything that could help us.
Okay. Could you roll an insight check for me, because I feel like I would have clocked something. I get that Mycah and Alara and Val are like the oldest people. Not the oldest, but they've been there the longest.
Fine words.
But I caught a vibe.
Yes, I will roll an insight check for you. And just so you guys all know, I have a DM's journal, and once the campaign is over, or once we're far away enough from this session, I'm recording all my insight checks, so you guys will know that I'm not fudging the numbers, and you can at a later date ask back to see the proof of what this roll was. Okay. Oh, what die do I want to use? I'm going to use this die. It's so pretty.
Ooh. Oh, she's beautiful.
It's giving watermelon sugar. Oh, sorry.
All right. And then what is your modifier for insight?
No, that's intelligence. Hold on. It's +5.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
She caught a vibe.
You definitely caught a vibe. Tephra, insight on Syndra, Mycah, Val, total. All right. I'll write the exact roll plus your modifier. Okay. So Alara is just like, okay, she needs a cab. I don't really Syndra, but I hope she's okay. I hope she's feeling fine. I'm just happy to be on an adventure, you know? Tephra, a warm breeze blows through your hair as you turn and watch the three of them go off. And as you see Syndra hail a tuk-tuk and a dinosaur kind of slowing down and a man in a cab picking her up, you see there is fear in her eyes that is different than the kind of resolved acknowledgement of the fact that she is ill, right? Like you were in that room with her when she told you about the death curse. The fear in her eyes as she's talking to Mycah and Val is similar to the fear in Maximilian's eyes, her husband's eyes, when he was looking at his sick wife. And you see Syndra it looks like she's asking something to Mycah and Val, and you see Mycah nod in response, and Val just looks incredibly stoic. And I mean, Val, how would you describe? Would you say Val looks a little shaken? Would you say how would you describe Val's reaction to that conversation without giving away what happened?
She is very stoic, but she looks very pale.
Okay.
Like all of the blood drains from her face.
Okay. So there you go, Tephra. That's the vibe you caught onto as they returned to you. And as Mycah is immediately like, okay, guys, so we're going to do this, this, and this. And Alara's like, who made you boss?
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm willing to follow Mycah into wherever they go.
Yeah, since no one else is getting an argument, I'll follow.
Well, I need a drink first. I'll be so honest. Whew. Teleporting? Teleporting is something else. Let me tell you, it's thirsty work, even though I did absolutely nothing.
Val's gonna get like a coconut with a little umbrella in it.
Would love to eat it. Would love to drink it. So you guys go off to the bookstore, and I think me and Alara are gonna hit some bars, do a little pub crawl here. Sounds pretty good. People are lively.
Isn't she 16?
Wait.
What's the age limit here?
It's like medieval, people are drinking wine by the time they're 5,
Okay.
Yeah.
The places we're going aren't going to ask to see ID. Let me tell you that.
Can I have an ID, please?
What's the time of day right now?
Okay, so the time of day, if I remember correctly, you're delving into the dungeons. That happened like late afternoon, and the sun was setting when you came up to the council room and met with Syndra. However, that's in the far north, and we are in not winter, but like an autumnal time of year. And so it is, I would say, late afternoon here because you guys have traveled far enough south that it's obviously still the same time of day. You haven't really, thinking on a map, yeah, you haven't really changed time zone. It's like going from Dallas to Rio, except that is a time zone change. But you've traveled very far, but you have not like changed time zone. But since you've gone further south, the sun is up for longer. So I would say it's just around dinner time, actually. But the sun is still quite hot on your skin. Also, please make them do a constitution check if they do a brow crawl. Absolutely. It's Europe, guys. Also, Gaze is very excited. Oh, she was like, Tephra is gonna figure it out. Oh my god! Wait, I'm obsessed with this. I'm sure we're not the first people in the world to do this for D&D, but yes, now all insight checks are vibe checks. 100%.
So I'll turn to Tephra. Are you going to go on this pub crawl with them, or would you like to go search out some information with me?
I want to search out some information, gauge the vibe around here. Look at some prices of things we may need.
Okay,
Would follow you.
I don't know where I'm going. Just gonna.
We'll figure it out together.
So we're splitting the party. Episode 2. Okay, great.
Well, where should we meet up, guys? I feel like we got to meet up somewhere, so we can.
What about that tavern that she said was like our tavern back home?
Kaya's house or something.
Are we going? So she wants to meet at Kaya's House of Repose, and that's the one that she said was like pretty chill.
One. Yeah.
But the Thunderous Lizard is the one that she said was more like what we're used to.
Yeah.
So do we want to stay at the one we're going to be meeting at? Or
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's
so quiet though.
That's what I
I'm gonna have
think.
to be so quiet.
Well, we're gonna head over to the Thunderous Lizard first, though. Like we're gonna check it out, and if it's
Just to sleep. Okay.
you never know what might happen there. You don't want to fight where you sleep. So
fair point.
it's a great line. So we'll meet at the House of Repose later this evening.
sounds good to me.
Maybe like
Have fun on your book tour.
1 a.m., 2 a.m. kind of more. I'm thinking it depends on how long we're drinking. This pub crawl.
Mm-hmm.
You're still
All
a
right.
child. Please remember that.
I'm 19.
She's not a child. She's like
Okay,
okay. Okay, we've done plenty of pub crawls in Coventry. How different could it be?
I don't know. There could be salacious men. I don't know this place.
We can take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Val just like reaches over and like just like pulls out part of her dagger and is like, "Salacious man, huh?" And puts it back.
If we're splitting the party, I want to see how the pub crawl plays out first.
I was gonna make you guys roll for it. I was gonna make
Okay.
but we don't have to if Mars and Davaisha, if you're okay with having it go to Val and Alara first.
Yeah.
However, there are some roles I need everybody to do.
Oh.
So yes. Hold on. I'm just gonna mark off all the things we've covered in my DM notes. And did this, did that. Syndra left. Okay.
Salacious lizards.
You know what? That was my first thought, but I didn't want to say it.
Sounds like a band name.
But it's D&D. There can be salacious anyone, salacious wizards, salacious snake people. So true. So true. Okay. I need... Okay. Oh, wait, this is complicated because you guys are splitting. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll just do... Okay. Mycah, I would like you to roll a d10.
Okay.
No modifiers.
That is a 9.
Okay.
That's good.
You've just decided your fate.
I'm nervous.
Oh, what?
Mike is getting eaten by a lizard, guys.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
was
like
so
that.
Me
ominous.
too, guys. I'm so scared. I'm so scared of that.
Oh, interesting.
What did I do?
Oh my god, that's so interesting. All right. And Alara, will you also please roll a d10?
Oh my gosh. No. All right. Okay, so they're just separate here. Okay, nice. Roll to everyone.
Oh, and if it's a 5, re-roll, please.
It's a 3.
It's 3.
I'm not doing good in the rolling today.
Oh, also interesting. And that was a d10, not a d20?
Yeah, it was D10.
Okay. All right.
I don't like when the DM says interesting. It's
I
scary.
think, here's the thing. I think all things are interesting. So. And it's so interesting that you guys decided to split the party because now we're.
I mean, we can always walk that back.
Nope. No, you cannot.
Wait up.
Tephra's like, actually, I think I also need a drink.
All right. Sorry, I'm just taking notes because this is going to have an effect on what happens. So fun. Okay. Now I want Val, Mycah, and Tephra.
Oh no, I'm not included in that.
To roll. This is kind of weird, but please roll a D8 and a D10 and tell me the total.
Oh God.
Okay.
Am I dying already?
Yes.
Did she just say yes?
Yes. Oh man.
My total is 8.
8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay.
15.
Ooh, nice.
Give me 1 second.
It's episode 2, guys. No more hand holding.
I'm laughing at myself because I was like, oh, my hand, I'm gonna keep my handwriting so beautiful in my DM's notebook, and now I'm like, rah, 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 rah. You rolled a 15, Tephra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this was 8. This is 9 and 10, 11 and 12, 13 and 14.
Oh my God.
No!
Oh no.
Okay. Val?
5?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh my God.
I'm like shaking right now. I'm so scared.
Yeah, I also sense the vibe is off, gaze. The vibe is so off.
It's just, this is killing me. No, the vibe is so off. Okay. Look, here's the thing. I want you guys to, have a say in your destiny. So we're just getting they're all that meme in the back of the bus going, I'm in trouble. Okay. All right. So Val, Alara, even though it could be metagaming, I think this is boring to have Mycah and Tephra go off stage for this. So you guys are welcome to stay. But also if you need to go to the bathroom or anything and you're not on screen, feel free to go. And just remember, try your best to remember that any information you know as a player doesn't necessarily mean it's information your character knows. So, All right. Val, Alara, proceed.
All right. Now I'm just nervous, but okay. I really need that drink.
Yeah. I sling my arm around Alara's shoulders and we just start wandering down the thoroughfare.
Okay.
And I'm like, we've gone drinking before. We've had fun times drinking. I may have said that to Mycah and Tephra and made it seem like we're not doing any work, but this is how I work. Mycah's all about the books and reading up on stuff. I'm about the locals. So we're going to go to some seedy places, flesh out what we can figure out.
Okay.
But also, try not to let them know that we're adventuring. We're just curious. Try not to be tourists, basically.
Keep the weapons ready, but act like tourists. Gotcha. All right. So which do you have an idea? Are we just walking down until we find what are we thinking?
I was thinking something like the Thunderous Lizard, since that was mentioned, and it's kind of our home spot, but
we'll start there, and then maybe they'll lead us to somewhere else if we need to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And hope we don't die.
And hope we don't die. Let's just continue down a little bit, and then oh, I know. I'm gonna hail a tuk-tuk. 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 Hey, what's up, man?
All right, another A cab with kind of a beautiful woman sitting on top, and she's kind of in kind of grungy clothes, but she's still really pretty. Good for her. Just, and kind of a scrawny but long dinosaur, making kind of like noises, comes to a halt. She goes, "Hi, do you need a ride?"
I do indeed, darling. How much for a ride?
It depends on where you're going.
We're trying to find the thunderous lizard. We hear it's a good time.
Oh no, the conversation.
Oh my goodness.
Oh right, that she said it was in the Red Bazaar. Hold on. As if I know this city. What? The Red Bazaar is 18, which is here. Okay, she goes, "Oh, yeah, that's over in the Market Ward, and we're in the Harbour Ward." So, and she kind of like looks you up and down. Oh. Ha! Okay. And she goes, yeah, that'll be 2 silver each. So 4 total, 2 per passenger.
And how much for a little bit of, a little bit of sauce, a little bit of
What?
What other places do you recommend besides the Thunderous Lizard?
Oh.
We're new to the city. We're trying to get a feel for it, so.
I mean, that's actually a really good suggestion. Whoever suggested the Thunderous Lizard is probably familiar with the city, because that's a really good inn for sure. Especially for, and she kind of gives you a look. She goes, "Never mind."
Well, is there another place that the locals go to?
I mean, it's Port Nyanzaru. It's big. There are lots of places. Lots of places.
What place do you go to?
Oh, honestly, I just go home and make myself a cup of tea. I'm not a really big person. I don't like crowds. It's not my thing. That's why I stay up here on this cot. I stay above the crowds. It's really important to do that, actually, from a safety perspective. And you kind of look and you see that her cart has a jerry-rigged version of a very early seatbelt in it. And in fact, there are, there are all sorts of extra accommodations on her cart that look like they've upped the safety measure.
No. All right, well, let's just go to the Thundering Lizard.
All right, so I pull out 4 silver and I hand it to her. I pay for Alara.
Excellent. Hop right on in. And
hold on. Do I need to
Yeah, you need to remove that. You need to remove it from your inventory.
Give me 1 moment to do that, or else I will forget.
Absolutely. The handsome cab is a kind of horse-drawn carriage designed and patented in 1834. So I think you can say cab. Okay, cool. No, Clear. Not the DM. I haven't paired any other pub. Go to this one, guys. I mean, I could come up with another one. I could do it if I wanted to. What place does that go to? The Thunderous Lizard. Go there.
Oh shit! Sorry.
She's kind of bitchy. I'd have hailed another tuk-tuk. Good, Mars. I'm glad. I'm sorry that Mycah can't enjoy her. She's an OSHA girl. People remember that TikTok song where it was like, "Come with me and you'll see in a world of an OSHA violation." And it's like all the videos of people fucking around at work. Oh, classic.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I got I got it settled. Okay.
So I'm gonna say that in real life, that was Val being like, "All right," and then you're like, "Where's my fucking purse?" And then you're like, "Wait, no shit, it's not this." And you pull out a dagger and something, and she's just kind of sitting there. She's like, "Okay," and then eventually you do pull out 4 silver. She's like, "Fantastic, thank you so much."
So we climb into the cart. I jerry rig the seatbelt.
Yeah, she's like, "Also, there are helmets," and you look down and there are helmets in the footwell.
Oh, helmets.
Fuck it. Yeah. I grab one and put one on.
Yeah. Honestly, after, 10 minutes ago when you did that roll thing, I'm going to be wearing a helmet.
She says, They've done all sorts of studies, and the largest cause of death in vehicular accidents is blunt force trauma to the head. So you've got to put the helmet on. Okay. And then she's like, all right, buckle up, which you've done. Great. And she gives a light tap to her beast of burden and slowly, like, I always go under the speed limit. That's just a standard for me.
I'm like, you know what? This is great. This means we can chat some more.
Yeah, and you guys can kind
of observe the city.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. Do we do it one at a time, or
both of you can roll? Or yeah, let me show your thing. This perception check for Alara.
Okay. A 9.
Okay, I mean, you can clearly see the city around you. You see this is not the only cart that has a medium or large dinosaur being used as a beast of burden. There are some other cab type things that are transporting people, but a lot of others are hauling 2-wheeled carts. There are helping hoist heavy loads on crane, and you see, even as you like ride along in the harbor ward, you even see that there are some aquatic dinosaurs pulling boats in the canals. And Val, would you like to roll perception?
Yes. 10.
Okay. Let's see. What do you see? You notice that all of the streets and city walls are paved. They look really nice with cobblestones or flagstones, and every building has rain gutters, and even the streets have rain gutters, and they're as much as 2 feet wide. There is no rain today, but there is like a mist from the heat of the sun. But yeah, you just notice there are a ton of rain gutters in this city, and like water features. You notice that a lot of the rain gutters lead down and typically to like individual plazas, and there's like a fountain in the center of the plazas that you pass by.
Stunning.
All right, and then about, let's see, it's not actually that far. Hold on. We're gonna say it takes a solid 30 minutes of her just trotting along. And eventually, you guys, the streets change from being in the harbor ward to, it gets a little bit more like dense, but also commercialized. This is where there are a lot of regular shops where it seems like you can find anything and everything. Maybe you all should have gotten in this cab, actually. It's all good, and it looks decent, you know. This, for the most part of what you've seen of this city, it's well kept, it's fairly clean, you know, lots of great enticing smells of food. Yeah, everybody, this ward looks very like solidly upper middle class, and you head into the Red Bazaar. Clop, clop, clop. And there are people everywhere. It kind of goes from being like stores that you can actually enter, like this street that we're looking on right now, and more of a tent covered area with street vendors and stalls. And you see locally produced meat, vegetables, tropical fruit for sale, people selling tej, which you had heard your coach talking about. It's like this dark amber colored liquid, and people kind of seem like they're leaving work and stopping for a cup of tej. Light clothing, insect repellent, rain catchers, and other household goods. And just looks like a really local place, especially like everybody here looks like they belong here. And she pulls up, and your coach pulls you up right to a inn that has a large, long-necked lizard-looking thing on it. Never seen this creature before, but it's like a signpost, and it does say in common as well as in several other languages underneath. It says the Thundering Lizard. She goes, all right, this is your stop. Thank you so much for riding today. Please feel free to unbuckle and leave the helmets in the footwell. And I hope you've enjoyed your safe ride because safety comes first.
I kind of want to hold on to this helmet.
Oh, well, you could buy it.
How much is it?
1 gold piece.
1 gold. You know what? Screw it. It's fine. No, thank you anyway.
Well, I mean, I could pop with it for 5 silver.
All right, I'll take it.
All right.
Can always use a helmet.
Yeah. All right. So you can, I don't know if it's even listed on the stuff, but you can, you can add a helmet. But like,
okay. Does that give me anything?
It does not give you any additional AC or anything like that. It's just you have a helmet.
Okay, but and, like, attacked by the head doesn't help at all.
But it does have a special logo, and the logo says "Ride safe with Shira."
Ride safe with Shira. Okay, I'm gonna put that in my notes.
And for some reason, Davaisha thought that was very funny.
Okay.
I'm writing it down as well. Okay, so I'm assuming you guys get out of the cab.
Yes.
Well, before we leave, we get out of the cab.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, I really like this ride. I love being safe. Is there like a home base we could find you at if we need to, catch another ride across the city?
No, I'm just kind of out and about, but you can pre-arrange with me to come pick you up at a certain time.
Oh.
And sure. I'm in the market ward fairly often. But yeah, you can pre-arrange a time for me to come pick you up if you need another safe excursion.
Yeah, what time do you think we should get back to the other inn? We could just have her pick us up, like after we're done with our pub.
What time is it? What time is it again?
So it's like about, I would say 5:30. 5:36.
So you want to say like midnight?
Yeah. How about you come pick us up at midnight?
All right, I can easily do that.
Sounds good. Safe travels.
Thank you.
And thanks, ladies. And she just clops off, and you spot before you walk into the Thundering Lizard, if that's where you're going. She does stop outside one of the Tej stalls, and a young man about her age hands her a cup, and she offers to pay, and he kind of waves her off and gives her a sweet little smile, and she rides off.
Is that sweet, or what do you think's in Tej?
I don't know. Let's find out.
All right.
Go.
Well, I mean, are we gonna actually try it, or should we ask? Like, I don't know.
I think the best person to ask is a bartender.
All right, let's go. Do you want to just go into the thunderous lizard then and ask?
Yeah, say on in. So we head into there, and I'm like, immediately Val is like, "Oh my god, it's so much less bright in here."
Yeah. Oh, excellent point. There we go. So you walk in, and you do get this sort of lovely sense of belonging. This, from the name Thunderous Lizard and from the way Syndra described it, I think any layperson might expect as soon as you walk in, someone would have been bursting out the door in a brawl and loud music playing. But no, this is like the Blank Page Tavern, where that sort of stuff does happen, but well after sunset. During the day, this is dinner time. Granted, there aren't kids in here, but it's fairly packed. This is how the food's probably good here. But it's packed with locals and travelers alike, and it's got kind of there is a minstrel playing in the corner and playing some body music, but not overly raucous at this point. And by body, I mean BAUDY, not BODY. Body means like silly, like kind of sexy and right? Doesn't that what that means? But it's a tavern at dinner time, right? So it's kind of imagine a slightly crowded restaurant with good vibes and, good lighting.
Okay. I'm actually kind of hungry. So should we get something to eat too?
Yeah, sure. Let's go over to the bar, slide right in. Whoever the bartender is, kind of.
Yeah, there are 2 seats open at the bar, and there's a man who is currently attending everybody, and it takes you guys a second to get his attention, but then eventually he comes up to you, and he's got really deep tan skin and beautiful kind of umber eyes and hair that's a similar color to his eyes. And he goes, "What can I get you two ladies tonight?"
What's the special? What's going on? What do you got?
Give me a second. I know that they do sometimes have like specifically what is sold listed. Harbor Ward, Market Ward. I was just there. There it is. Yeah, so tonight we have, I mean, everything you could want from in terms of a drink. But we've got a large fish fillet, fried, deep fried, battered twice, deep fried, as well as cut potatoes, and served with a spicy aioli.
Never heard of this aioli before, but it's pretty good.
It's like like eggs and oil that have been whipped up. Yeah, and you like add other fixins in it.
That sounds good. I'll take one of those. Yeah.
Both of you?
Yep.
Yeah. And what's Tej? We've been hearing a little bit outside. Our tuk-tuk driver was hooked on it apparently.
Oh, I mean, it is the drink of Port Nyanzaru. You know, it's hard to explain, but where are y'all from?
We're from up north, more.
Oh, from Coventry.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be like a mix between a cider and an ale, but a little bit more floral.
Sounds good. We'll take two of those then.
Yeah, let's try that.
All right. So you guys order, I'm going to say, here's the thing. With stuff like this, unless you guys decide to like start really living the high life, we don't need to keep track of like money spent on food and stuff like that. Just say for the most part, you spend about 1 silver a day, let's say, just because you guys aren't like, you guys are getting nice stuff because you're used to nice stuff, but not like, it's not high luxury, you know? But you will have to pay for like lodging and stuff. I'm just not going to have to make you calculate for food every single time. But yeah, he kind of gives you a double tap at the bar, you pay, and he gives you 2 tall glasses. Well, they're not even glasses. They're ceramic cups that are full of a dark liquid. Oh, he does ask if you want your Tej hot or iced.
I want it iced.
He says, just like a tourist would. And he looks at you, Alara.
I'll take it hot.
All right. Like you. And he gives you your beverages, and then about 5 minutes later, 2 steaming plates of a very large fish fry, some large chunk potato fries, and a huge bowl of spicy mayo for you to split.
That sounds so good. Now I'm hungry.
I'm really hungry.
Who's sitting like next to us? Like, are there people next to us?
Just FYI, Mars and Davaisha, you guys don't need to be muted, just so you know. You can add commentary and stuff, that's fine. If you want, but you can stay muted if you want. That's up to you. What was the question, Val?
Are there people sitting next to us? Like
at the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's just like regular workers, and yeah, there are lots of people in the bar.
Okay, whoever's, sitting next to me, I probably say something like, wow, this is like a...
Oh, sorry. Does this place take out? Sounds good. That sounds rank? What do you mean? It's fish and chips.
I think he's talking about the drink.
Oh, maybe. I'm having like my ADHD noise making time.
Val is the salacious population.
Oh. Mars is like, I like being part of the crowd right now. Okay, good. I just don't want you guys to feel like completely part of the process. Sorry, Val, what was your question?
Probably just like, kind of lean over to the person next to me and is like, this kind of looks like a dinosaur. Like, is Is this an aquatic dinosaur that I'm about to eat? Sounds good to me.
It's a man who is tan and bright-eyed, kind of looks young, but has a big scar across his right cheek. He says probably just something dredged up from the bottom of the market ward, to be honest. But it'll still be good.
Oh, it certainly looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And are you local to here, or are you just passing through like we are?
No, I've lived in Port Nyanzaru for about 5 years, but I was born in Eastern Lyra.
I have a question, quick. Is the death curse or whatever that we're researching, is that happening everywhere, like here too, or is it just?
You don't know.
We don't know. Okay, so we should. How do we ask that? Like. Without being like, hey, is there a death curse here too?
That's what I'm like trying to figure out, like mentally.
Right. Well, okay. I'm gonna say, we're from Coventry, and there's actually some crazy stuff going on up there where people who
isn't that always though? I mean, it's
well, that's true. Yes, of course, but extra crazy because people who had been resurrected are now dying. Is that happening here too?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Okay.
You know, people, there's some clerics in town that like their main form of living is basically bringing adventurers back because the jungle is not safe, if that was not clear. Rich folk who like to think that they can just come into our town and go off and use our resources and go off into our jungle and don't respect it. They usually will set aside a little bit with the local temples that in case something happens to them, they can get resurrected. Right. When the party returns. And he kind of gives a smirk and he's like, unfortunately, the past couple of weeks, that hasn't been really working out for them.
Okay, so it's been
like the guy, what's coming?
That is what I've been saying.
Right? What's wrong with you people?
He takes a big bite of his meal, which looks like his meal does look like it may be a dinosaur steak. You're not for sure, but it's big and it's got weird striations. He takes a big chunk of that and goes, yeah. And he's just chewing with his mouth open. Like just, yeah.
So funny.
Oh man. Is there anybody trying to do anything about it here? Or is everyone just kind of?
I mean, lots of people like you coming in. Wow, suddenly we're Western.
I know.
Lots of people coming in like you. Yeah, the streets have kind of started getting a little hustle bustle with adventures from out of towners, but whatever. I just go to my tannery. I get my work done. I go home. I don't die. So it doesn't seem like it's really relevant to me.
Fair enough.
So do you guys, I'm assuming you eat your meal. Yeah. And then what is, just so like we don't fully take up the entire 3 hours doing a pub crawl, even though that'd be so fun. What is your main goal of this thing? Is it to gather information?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And very much just like kind of mingle with the locals, figure out stuff.
Okay. So here's my first question. Did you actually want to do a pub crawl?
No, not really.
Okay.
You don't have to. Yeah.
So you're gonna stay at the Thunder.
We can do it all in the one bar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second question. How many glasses of tej are you gonna have?
One.
Just
maybe
one?
a half. Probably a half. I'll probably nurse that one that I have the whole night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's something we probably would have been trained to do since we're part of the military.
Okay. So then you guys are fine. There's no need to roll for Constitution, especially if you're having such a big meal as well. It just gets absorbed right up into those potatoes and fry.
Perfect
so
food.
what I want each of you to do is roll me an insight check. And because of the role play that you guys have been doing, I'm going to give you both advantage on your insight check. And this is going to tell us kind of how successful you are at gathering information in this one location.
Well, don't you roll insight checks for us?
Yes, I do. Oh, actually, no. Because this one, that you guys can go ahead and roll this one. I don't need to tell you why, but you guys can go ahead and roll this one.
Okay. I got a 15.
And that's including your modifier?
Yes.
Excellently done. That's what you needed. All right, so now I get to roll a D100. Where's my other? Oh, here it is. Excuse me. Can you hear my dice clacking?
Ooh, I love it.
All right. Okay, so Alara, you're kind of walking around and you end up getting in a conversation with a fisherman, and he just is kind of telling you about his whole vibe. It's kind of one of those things where you kind of get stuck in the conversation. and he's an elder, and I know Alara is kind of doesn't give an F, but it's awkward to just like walk away. But at a certain point in your conversation, you do pick up, he does tell you there are giant snapping turtles in Snapping Turtle Bay. Can you imagine that? He says one of them is as big as a house. He's known as King Toba, and his shell has gemstones embedded in it.
Ooh, King Toba. I feel like I should write that down.
Val, what did you roll?
A 9.
With advantage? You rolled with advantage?
I don't know what that means. I mean,
you roll
I
twice. You roll twice and take the higher number.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know what that meant.
You're good.
Sorry, it was an insight check, right?
Insight, yeah.
If you right-click instead of just regular clicking on the place in D&D Beyond, it gives you the option to choose advantage.
Oh, that's nice.
Got a nat 20.
Oh, very well done. Because of that, I'm actually going to say you learned 2 pieces of information as you walk around. So first... Oh, okay. Interesting. So you talk with a beautiful woman in bright yellow robes who's kind of eating this salad of tropical fruit and has it's a table of friends, and you kind of are drawn to her, and she's got, bracelets up to her elbows and, gorgeous looped earrings all along her, ears. That's where earrings go. And at a certain point in the conversation, she's just kind of welcoming you to Port Nyanzaru. She asks some questions about Coventry. And at a certain point, she talks about the jungle to you, and that there's a place of interest that she's always thought was interesting. She goes, so up the Tariki River, about 5 days, by canoe at least, much longer if you're walking, there's a stone spire to the east. The people who reside in the jungle call it Firefinger. Firefinger. Sorry, that did not sound normal coming from an Australian accent. Creatures that people call the terror folk have nests there. And, well, if they spot you, you're in for a bit of a fight. And then your second piece of information, that I would say you stay at this table and you learn from her companion, who's another woman equally as ornately dressed. What was that number? Okay. She is also interested in information about Chult, and she tells you that there is a mine called Wormheart Mine. But a while ago, a red dragon claimed it and lives there now. But it used to be occupied by dwarves, and there are rumors that the dwarves are determined to reclaim them, and that some of the dwarves have come to Port Nyanzaru in attempts to gather people to help them reclaim their mine.
Am I allowed to flirt with these women and
100%.
Do I have what do I have to roll to kind of for my how successful is my flirting?
Charisma. You roll charisma. There's something within charisma, I bet. Hold on. It's persuasion, performance, deception. I don't know what the other charisma skill is. Just roll straight charisma check.
Sorry.
It's D&D. Of course you can flirt with the NPCs.
Where's charisma? What?
Oh, it's going to be at the top because it's one of the main.
Oh, I see.
Mhm.
I see. There we go.
Let me
15.
15. All right, yeah. You spend some time chatting with these two women and their group of friends, and they take a liking to you, and you've got a great rapport, and they buy you. If I don't know if you'd accept another thing of Tej, but they offer to buy you additional drinks, and yeah. And you learn that they are jewelry makers in town and that they kind of are walking advertisements for their personal work, and that they work in the market ward just outside the Red Bazaar. Yeah. Do you have any, do either of you have any specific questions that you want to ask about?
Okay, how secret is our mission? Because, I mean, a part of me would want to ask, have they heard of the item that we're looking for? What are we looking for? Let me go back.
Soulmonger.
The Soulmonger, right. So but is that supposed to be, I can't remember. Is that supposed to be we're not supposed to talk about that? Or could we just flat out ask if they've heard of it?
I will say this. When you first went up to the advisory room, Max would not even tell you what the mission was until you agreed to do it.
Right.
So take from that what you will.
Well, we'll see. I would just ask them.
That's fine. You are welcome to do that.
Okay, so I would probably be asking people if they've heard of the Soulmonger.
Okay. I'm going to roll. First, I want you roll a charisma check, and I'm going to roll an insight check for you.
Okay, I actually have higher modifier in persuasion, but could I persuade someone?
You just roll me charisma, because this is just about, that's what's required for, that's the game mechanic.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then you're going to roll to see if you learn information.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll an insight check on your behalf to see your reaction to that information, basically.
Okay. All right. So charisma. 19.
Nice. Okay. What's your insight modifier?
Insight modifier is +2.
That's funny. Insight roll at thunderous lizard. Okay. So let's roll that D1. No, actually, you asked specifically about the Soulmonger. I know that there is one I can read here for you. Just give me a second. Because you rolled high enough. Sorry. There's just a lot here. But I know there's something. Oh, great. Somebody say something. Dead air.
All right, I go over to Val and complain about the fact that I got stuck with some guy that would not stop talking about snapping Turtle Bay. And you get to flirt with these gorgeous women. It's not fair.
Oh, it's okay. We'll be going back to see the women because they own a jewelry store. I actually have a question for the women as well, but
okay. Well,
all right.
Get back to it.
As you guys are talking, so Alara, just for context, you asked several people. You kind of the same way as you had that conversation with the guy at the bar. You know, you're like, oh, we're from Coventry. The reason we're here is we're, you know, about the death curse. And we've been told specifically that there's a, you say we've been told about something called the Soulmonger. And now we're trying to find that. You say that word?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to say, you say that to like 3 people. Okay.
Okay.
By the last person you say it to, your insight check was high enough. Actually, shoot, I shouldn't have said that. Your insight check, you get the vibe.
Okay.
That people are a little weirded out. Like maybe the first person had literally no idea what you're talking about. The second person was a little, and then the third person seemed shifty to you. And you come up to Alara, but like not enough that you really press them. You're just like, you kind of got that weird feeling in your stomach. And it kind of almost didn't even occur to you until you left, right? Like as you're approaching Val, you're like, oh, that was kind of weird. And as you're talking to Val about your annoying conversation with the guy, with the man, the fisherman, an elderly woman who had been kind of sitting near the minstrel playing in the corner, sitting near the fireplace, even though it's like a really smoky fireplace because it's a hot day. And so like the smoke is kind of coming in rather than rising out. But she's old, wrinkled, hunched over, kind of in draping robes, kind of comes up to you and grabs your arm. And she says, I have strange dreams. Deep in the heart of the jungle is a city built by minotaurs. It's now overrun by snake people, but even worse things dwell below. In my visions, I have seen strange devils screaming in the dark.
Okay, and by heart of the jungle, where exactly is that?
In the depths of Chult.
In the depths of Chult. Okay, and do you know...
Mullen has a very good course of what she guys wants you to do.
Of giant snapping. No! Okay. Because to me, I think this sounds more like I would think Alara sort of just thinks this is more sort of, you know, the ramblings of a, you know, like she's listening to what she's saying, but it sounds more like a, I don't know the word. I can't think of the word, but like, but it doesn't sound like she knows details. It just sounds like she knows like it's what her vision is telling her. Do you okay, so lizard people, which we've heard about, but like the devils, what do they look like?
Stone faces screaming.
Stone faces screaming. Have you been to this place before, or you just only dreamt about it?
And right when you ask that question, crash! Some 2 people have gotten it started a brawl. You see, it is dark outside, and suddenly the vibes of this place are totally shifting. The music's getting louder, and there's a huge fight, and it actually knocks the old lady into your arms. And then she kind of is like freaked out, and in the hustle and bustle, she's gonna try and get away from you and leave the tavern.
Should we go after her?
I mean,
go after her.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
So we both go after her. We're like,
okay.
We're chasing this old lady.
Okay, I want you. Oh God, I've never done a pursuit before. Okay, athletics check. Roll me. First, roll me a perception check to see if in the hustle bustle of everything getting really crowded and the fight happening, if you actually catch where she goes.
Okay.
I'm going to roll a stealth check for her.
Both of us or just Alara?
Just Alara.
I got a 7.
Okay, yeah. So she falls into you and like kind of makes old lady cries, and then the fight is like you're just so thrown by the fight that you kind of look over and then you look back and she's gone. And you don't know where she went. You scan the room and you don't
Can
know.
I go outside and look again?
Yeah, well, you can go outside and look, but the perception check is like your general like ability to find her.
Okay.
But yeah, you go outside with Val and you scan, but you don't.
Does she see anything?
Do I see anything? Can I look for her? Did I notice her more?
Val, you can roll a perception check.
13?
You scan the roads, and the nighttime is beautiful in Port Nyanzaru. There are flickering candles on the streets, and some storm clouds are rolling in. You hear off in the distance with that perception check, you hear thunder, but no sign of the lady.
Okay, I know we said we were going to go at midnight, but maybe we should try and find Mycah and Tephra now, because even though this was just a dream, it could have been a vision, and maybe some of the research that they're doing can match what she told me.
And with that, just imagine a pause button shows up on the screen. We are going. Thank you, first of all, Val and Alara, for this fun little expedition. We're gonna go 2.5 hours back in time. Because I would say right now it's about 8 o'clock. So yeah, 2.5 hours. And you two have just taken off with Shira in her Safe with Shira cabbie. And Mycah and Tephra, you two are left alone in the harbor ward.
Okay, we're hitting up the bookstore or a library, perhaps.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess a cab driver would be the person to ask where to go. So, find a cab driver, ask. Right. We're looking for information. Where do we go?
Okay, so you hail a cab, and this one is like moving fast because it's end of day, and so a lot of the cabs are full. So it takes you a while actually to hail a cab that will stop for you. And this one's blazing down, and for a second you think there's somebody in it because of how fast it's going, but then it stops, and it's being pulled by a velociraptor. Okay, and a young human male, probably about 17 years old, kind of looks at you excitedly, and he's like, "Hi, do you need a ride?"
We do, in fact.
Yeah.
Great. I've been meaning to exercise my girl all day. Where are you heading to?
Mycah, do you want to take the lead? Like, do you want a bookstore or a library?
Either we're looking for information on the jungle and just the local area. So if there is a library or a bookstore, something like that.
Ooh, a library. I mean, definitely I could take you to the market ward. That they're going to be bookstores there. A library, I believe there is something. Maybe one of the temples. What is that? 1 of 3. I should just Google it. I should be like, is there a library in Port Nyanzaru? And souk. What is that? That's a market. Places for the merchant princes. Let's see. Loose government. Assassins. Temple. I shouldn't be saying this all out. My bad. Tee. Tee. Yeah. I honestly think your best bet is the market ward. Yeah. Yeah, I could take you to a bookstore in the market ward.
Okay. What's the
price?
Oh, it's gonna be about 5 copper total.
Oh, sure. I gotcha.
Great. Oh, I'm so excited. There's a dinosaur race in just a couple days, and I'm really trying to get my girl ready to go. So, thank you guys so much. You're my first customers of the day.
Did you just get your license, perhaps?
I did. My 17th name day was just 2 weeks ago.
Great.
And I've been saving up. I've been saving up for my own. What did I say was Velociraptor for 3 years. 3 years of working.
So sweet. And I'm like tapping the seat, trying to hold Mycah's hand. And
you guys get there in 10 minutes. There is no time to take in the sights of the city. It is. In fact, I'm just gonna say this. He takes a different route. You guys get to the market ward before Alara and Val do. And as he's going, he's like, I've got some tricks I'm trying to teach her. I want her to, and he kind of like, makes her, he's like, I can show you. Because she's meant to, in the dinosaur races, if you really, really want to have the best shot, you have to prime the dinosaur's ability to run fast and defend against other dinosaurs. So we've been working on some moves with her to get her to snap, and he kind of makes a movement, and his dinosaur goes and kind of bites into nothing in the air as she's still running. He's like, she's my champion. She's going to win this whole thing for me. I know it, and I'm going to become rich as a merchant prince. And you guys, it is like, I'm trying to think of, no, that's too obscure. Never mind. Just imagine a movie scene in which two people are riding in a car that's going really too fast, and they are concerned, and there's bumping, and you guys have like bags of coins on you, and they like kind of jump up, and as you go through the cobblestones, and he's racing and does some showboaty extra moves that are totally unnecessary. But then in about 10 minutes, he pulls in the Velociraptor, comes to a stop, and kind of, I don't know if this is anatomically accurate, but sits on its hind legs and just sits patiently. And he's like, all right, the market ward, here you go. And Katie Ann says, let's not go into the jungle, but rather let's raise some dinosaurs. There are the mechanics for that in the book.
I'm going to ask what the kid's name was. I need to know his name.
Oh, Marcus.
Marcus?
Mm-hmm. Marcus.
All right.
M-A.
And if you would ever need a ride again, Marcus, how can we find you?
Oh, I have no idea.
You should get maybe like a banner to put on the side, a little advertisement.
That's such a good idea. Marcus and Milia. And he points to his
adorable.
I love them.
His thing. Marcus and Milia. What's another in word that like means riding around, like moving with Marcus and Milia, or something like that? I don't know. We'll workshop it.
I'm
going to give this to the tip.
Another silver.
Oh my
God! Because I love him, and
no, I can't. No, I so appreciate it, but I'm gonna make my fortune in the dinosaur races. You don't need to worry about me. And he hands you that silver back.
Can I try and like slip it in?
Yeah. You can make a sleight of hand check. Ow! Effing hell, that hurt. We're fine. Don't worry.
Sleight of hand is only a 4.
And he rolls.
I want to try too. I like this kid.
Okay, he rolls a 17 for his perception. So he goes and he kind of like takes it out of his pocket and does a little flippity floopity with the coin. So it like kind of does that thing where he can juggle it with his fingers, and then he goes up to your ear and he goes and he puts it in your front pocket of your shirt. And then while he's doing that, I'm gonna say he's rolling with disadvantage for perception just because he's distracted by trying to showboat for Mycah. So you roll a sleight of hand check, and I'll roll perception on his end.
Okay. I had a 22.
Okay.
So while he's doing all that, I'm like,
you
flipping it into the other pocket.
Yes, and you got it. He does not see you do that.
Teamwork.
All right, and then he tells you both to have a great day, and he's like, all right, Milia, and he goes, woohoo! And they zoom down the street and ride off.
Did he like
figure out how to take away the silver on this thing?
Oh, gotcha.
Did he bring us to a bookstore specifically, or just drop us off somewhere?
No, he brought you to like a place that sells books and scrolls in the market ward. There's a candle shop next door. There's a shop for all sorts of teas. And there's like lots of shops, but yeah, he pulled up right in front of a bookstore that we're gonna call I'm trying to think of a fun pun. Chulton Chapters is what it's called.
So I guess we just go in.
Yeah.
All right. It's kind of dark and cool as you walk in. A direct response against the heat and brightness of the Chulton sun outside. It's like when you walk into a bookstore and it smells like leather and coffee, except this smells like almost like a florally coffee, which you're not sure what that scent is. Yeah, there's just a dry air, cool air. You're not sure how they got it so temperature controlled in here. But there's a person at a counter. There are only a couple of bookshelves on the outskirts of the main area with big leather chairs for people to sit in and read. But it looks like there's a larger place, like a larger store of books behind the main counter. But in front of the counter is a elderly gnomish woman, and she's sitting on a stool and reading a book.
I would just like to walk around and search the aisles before approaching her.
Okay.
I want to, you know how you go into a store and then people are like, "Oh, you need any help?" And you're like, "No."
Mm-hmm.
I want to navigate first and then be like, "Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay.
I have a question."
Yeah. She doesn't take much notice of you two as you walk in. She seems fairly absorbed into her book.
I'll walk around with Tephra, just see what's up.
Okay. And what are you guys looking for specifically?
Mycah is looking for information on the jungle, like plants and animals, and basically like the vibe of the jungle, but also any historical information on any ancient civilizations that might have existed at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go for the like historical artifacts or religious etymology or something.
I am gonna say, roll me an investigation check, please. And if you'd like to share your screen, you're welcome to, but you do not need to. If you're rolling on D&D Beyond.
I will. Give me 2 seconds. I'll share.
And both of you can roll.
I got a nat 1. No,
you haven't
7.
Okay, 7. Okay.
I looked at it and I'm like, but it says it's a 7 plus 9.
And also, just as a reminder, when I do, hold on, let me get Tephra up. When if for ability checks for my DM style, nat ones are only really critical fails during encounters like attacks and stuff. If you roll a 1, but you've got like a +8 to your modifier, right? To me, that's a 9. So just FYI for future references.
And what am I doing again? Sorry.
You are rolling an investigation check for me, please.
Ooh, okay. Oh, an 8.
Okay. I'm going to say this. You walk around for a good 30 minutes. You are like crowding these shelves, looking, and you don't find anything, but at the very front of the store, have you guys ever gone to like a new place and at the visitor center there's like this magazine rack of all the like little excursions you can go on?
I was going to ask if there was a pamphlet section.
Yeah. There is one, and Tephra, you as you walk by, you just notice that there's one that says, "So you want to go to the jungle?" ?
Okay, I'll pick that up.
So you pick it up, and it's got an emblem of the flaming fist on it, which you're familiar with because the Flaming Fist is a faction that exists also in Coventry, and they're pretty militant and kind of annoying. And a lot of times, they're basically they're basically like another advisory. They're in the way that you guys being advisees of House Silvane are, that kind of makes you part of a faction. The Flaming Fist are another organization of talented people, but they're more militant and they're bigger because they also have a lot of just brute force, whereas advisees are usually like preternaturally talented. A lot of the Flaming Fists are just like thugs. But you read through this pamphlet and it doesn't say much other than that if you want if you want to go into the jungle, you must receive a, what's it called? Sorry, excuse me. It is called not a permit. It's called, I know I wrote this down. Sorry. Loose on the city. Other info. Oh, a charter of exploration.
Okay.
And in order to obtain that, and the Charter of Explanation is basically permission from the Flaming Fist to go into the jungles and take of it its bounty. But you will also, it's highly recommended that you hire a local guide, and that the local guides are all contracted under the Merchant Prince Jobal, spelled Gobal, and that is also a requirement. So to have a guide and to have a charter of exploration, and that with those two, and with giving a cut of any treasure that you find while out in the jungle, you will be allowed to explore Chult to like in its entirety. It does say, though, that in order to acquire that charter of exploration, you must first travel to a place called Fort Belurian, spelled B. That can't be right. I'll give you the right spelling about that later. And you see that is 8 days of travel north of Port Nyanzaru through deep jungle, or 1 day by chartered ship, and then like 1.5 days on foot afterwards. So, but you have to acquire that. That's where you have to go in order to acquire a charter of exploration.
Okay.
And that's what you find.
Does this pamphlet have a map? Or can I look for one that has a map?
Funnily enough, you have a map. Remember? Syndra
of the jungle?
You have a map of Chult. You have a map of Chult, and Syndra had. Hi, Lindsay. Welcome. We are back. We are in this town of Port Nyanzaru. They have arrived, and they're getting ready to go on an adventure. Syndra gave you the map and said that it took her days of looking over sea charts and stuff like that to make it. Okay. So, would you like to look at the map? Would you like to pull it out and look at it?
I've got it pulled up.
Will you share your screen? So other people can see the map.
Nope.
There you go. Can you zoom in?
Okay. So we're at the top, right?
Yeah. So Port Nyanzaru is in that little nook in that bay. And then, Davaisha, I don't know if you can zoom in at all, but Fort Belurian is that little white dot that's a bit northeast to Port Nyanzaru. Yeah, right there. Mm-hmm. And each of those hexes represents 10 miles traveled.
Okay. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take it to the register. I'm going to buy it. I'm also going to ask. Yeah. Or are they free?
Yeah, they're for anybody. And she just stops and she looks at the map in your hands and she goes, "Where did you get that?"
See, we're on a research trip and this was provided by our benefactors.
I will give you 50 gold right now for that.
Is this our only copy?
Is this our only? We each have a map.
No. Syndra gave you guys a map, and I'm just saying that you and Mycah had it. And that's why you pulled it out right now.
Okay. I
can
give this to you now, but when I'm in a position to make a copy, I can come back.
I will give you 100 gold if you give it to me now.
I can make a copy and bring it to you tomorrow morning because I have cartography skills and I also thought to bring my cartographer's tools. So we cannot give you this copy, but
can I see, like, can I suss her out?
You can roll a vibe check, or I'll roll a vibe check for you.
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
And what's your insight modifier?
Insight is +5.
Oh, that changes things.
Nice.
Okay. And for a second, you're like, oh, she's just, like super into maps. But then something kicks in with you and you're like, oh, she's looking at you like you are something to eat. You're getting a weird vibe.
So when I'm making eyes at Mycah, like,
wait, and she puts on a friendly smile and she's like, are y'all, do you go out into the jungle a lot? Do you stay in Port Nyanzaru? Where do you stay? Where are you staying tonight?
We're staying at was it the Thunderous Lizard?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great establishment. And how long are you in town?
Oh, just the night.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I would.
But I also wanted to know if you had any other books about maybe some religious artifacts or something historical of the jungle.
You know what? I think I do. Why don't you two just sit down right over there? And she points to the leather chairs and she's like, and I'll be right back. It might take me a bit, actually, but just stay here, okay? And she goes back into the back room and kind of walks through a door. And
I'm like, Mycah, we should run.
Yeah, I don't want to be here any longer. We're gonna dip.
Okay, you leave.
Okay, no. What? Oh, wait, don't we have like? Can I tell if this is like dun 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 dangerous situation?
You got weird vibes from your vibe check. Weird vibes. You felt like she is overly eager about that map, and the way she was looking at you, it was like she was looking at you as you were like an obstacle to something that she wants.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take the pamphlet and we're gonna bounce.
We're out of here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that only took like you did 30 minutes of searching, 5 minutes talking to her, so it's been about 40 minutes total.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it. That thing that we get with the being the advisees.
Mm-hmm.
We got a thing that lets us know about our adversaries.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
would that do anything here? Yeah.
She's gone though.
So I couldn't have gotten like anything while she was there.
You would have had to use it while she was there.
Okay.
And that's kind of just in combat. That's like when you guys are in an active fight and your like fight instincts kick in and your training kicks in.
We don't know what she was gonna do. That could have been a fight.
Yeah, but it wasn't yet.
Okay. I'm gonna find where that is in D&D Beyond. But okay.
Okay. What do you guys think you're gonna do after the bookstore?
I'm shaking. I'm like, oh, let's not be out in the open. Let's go somewhere.
I was going to say find someplace public with a lot of people so that if anything happens, there are witnesses.
True. I also wanted to, it's like, is there a bazaar somewhere that has like little, I don't know, pop-up shops?
You can ask
so you
around.
could go to that jewelry store.
You can ask around.
I would like to do that because I either want to buy like
So-
a ring or something, or like a pair of gloves.
Well, you have a ring. You know you have a ring.
Yeah, you're so right.
They're just from House Silvane. You have that. But I'm not saying you can't get another one, but I'm just saying if you just for your character design you wanted to have a ring, you've got one. It's the ring of House Silvane.
What? I'm sure. Never mind. I'll ask later.
No, roll me an investigation check.
Oh, okay.
If you have something you want to do, you don't need to justify it to me. We can do it.
May I assist Tephra and
Absolutely.
give advantage?
Yeah. You can either give advantage or you can each roll. It's up to you.
I'll let Tephra roll again.
Okay. Hold on. I got a full screen.
Oh, sorry. Give me a second. Oh, you're not on here. Okay, never mind.
No, 16.
A 16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you ask around, and they're like, yeah, there are. This is literally the market ward. There's the Red Bazaar that sells a lot of local goods, but that if you wanted higher end pieces, that's actually going to be in a different part of the city. That is in the Grand Souk. It's and souk, you've kind of just from conversations with people, you're getting that souk means like it's one of their words for market. Sorry. Yeah, so the Grand Souk is where all things where lots of stuff happens, and there's also a jewel market. And those are the Grand Souk is in the merchants ward, and the jewel as is the jewel market. And that's where you can buy really fine jewelry. But there are some stores in the market ward. Remember, we're talking about the merchants ward, which is where the really nice stuff is. And the market ward has more like everyday household items, but there are like some beaded pieces you can buy and stuff like that. But if you wanted something really fine, you could go to the merchants ward.
Do you have a preference? I want to support local businesses.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how well looking for the things I wanted went, so I'll let you take the lead on this and hopefully don't run into any more weirdos.
So yeah, let's go to the merchant ward, you said?
Okay, so that is on
market.
Okay, you guys are in the market ward right now. Do you want the fine jewelry or just the regular jewelry?
The regular.
Okay, so you guys are in the market ward. So let's just say that as you're walking around, somebody points you to a nice store with lots of, and it's like the theme is beads and feathers. So all of the jewelry is going to incorporate one or both of those elements. And you can, if you are looking for something specific, you can describe it to me and we can figure out if there's something similar in this store available to you.
How about a bracelet?
Okay. What color? What color?
Green.
Okay. Nice green. And there, maybe you find one that's got like kind of some volcanic stone made too. That's kind of got like cool porous ability. So like kind of dark ashy stones with green beads in between. And
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's say it costs you a silver.
Okay. I'll buy the bracelet.
Okay. I will say this. You are in the jewelry store, both of you, and you are looking around and you find this bracelet and it's pretty, and you walk up to the counter to buy it. And there is at the counter manning the register is a male human who, I mean, he's willing to check you out, but he's just got tears streaming down his face.
Oh, sweetheart, what's wrong? What happened?
There is such injustice in this city. My husband, he's been sentenced to the executioner's run for stealing. But he's a victim of mistaken identity. He didn't do it. And I haven't been able to get anyone in the Flaming Fist to hear me. No merchant prince will hear my case. I'm gonna lose him. I'm sorry. And he takes the bracelet. He's like, 1 silver piece. It looks very nice on you, I'm sure.
I'm so not good in emotional situations.
There's Mycah.
I'm so sorry. I'm on a research trip, and my next stop is the Flaming Fist. Do you know how I could maybe?
Oh my god. If you could help me, I will give you all my life savings. I have 25 silver piece saved up, and I would do anything to save my husband's life. Well, he became
I don't need your savings. Just some information, perhaps.
Well, I think it might be too late. I think tomorrow morning is his appointment with the executioner's run. If you can help him on the sidelines, make sure that he survives, and then his debts will be cleared.
Oh, that's a little too soon. We can't even get there tomorrow morning.
It's a man, by the way, guys. This is a man. His husband has been taken. And Mon says, oh no, that is a side quest.
Is the Flaming Fist in the city, or is that at the fort, whatever it was called?
They're Flaming Fist all over Port Nyanzaru. They do occupy up in Fort Balarian. I know that, but yeah, the Flaming Fist are the one who arrested my husband in Port Nyanzaru. The executioner's run is just on the outskirts of the city. It's just through the first wall, just on the outside.
What's this man's name?
I'm Bellum. My husband is Draza.
Can we get a little bit more detail on the situation?
Yes. So Bellum asserts that his husband was a victim of mistaken identity for stealing, and he was sentenced without a proper hearing or trial. He reiterates again that he's been unable to persuade anyone in authority that his husband is innocent. And then he tells you, he says, he's going to be thrown into the pit with a pair of velociraptors tomorrow morning. But you'll have to, if you do it, though, it's a gambling ring. The executioner's run, you have to understand it. It's punishment and entertainment all in one. And people don't take well to interference, but I have to try something. Let me see if I can.
I wish we could put him in touch with Marcus.
Oh. So the executioner's run is not the same thing as the not dragon races, dinosaur races.
Oh, it was. I'm sorry.
I know.
Is it like a Colosseum type deal?
Well, so funnily enough, there is a Colosseum in the Market Ward. So actually, while you guys were on your crazy ride with Marcus, you passed by a large Colosseum type building. But no, in your talking with Bellum, you learn. Where is the information about the freaking executioner's run? This is y'all. Here we go. Okay, so I'm not gonna try and roleplay this. I'm just gonna give you guys information, okay? He's very talkative. He's lived here his whole life. He knows about the Executioner's Run. He tells you that long ago, before modern day Chultans lived here, the Executioner's Run was built by the people who lived here before. And it used to just be an arena for a highly competitive ball game. And it still provides cheap entertainment for the locals. Velociraptors and other beasts are set loose in the pit, and then convicted criminals are dropped in one at a time. And any criminals who make it alive through the gauntlet of carnivores to the far end of the pit can scramble up, like can win their freedom, and also like fame with the crowd. But that it is a place where people bet money to see who will win. And so interfering is really, really frowned on if you interfere with the Executioner's Run.
Okay, give me a second to think.
Okay. Please, you don't understand. He's all I have, and I'm not capable of doing anything. I'm just a merchant. And he looks at both of you, and Mycah looks pretty academic, but Tephra, you're an Earth Genasi. You give off like strong vibes. He's like, you could help him.
Do you know who actually committed this crime that he was looking for? Do you have a case built? Maybe we can get that information.
Honestly, I don't even know if a crime even happened. The woman who accused my husband just hates him. I wouldn't be surprised if she just made it all up. I'm convinced she made it all up.
Oh.
Who was this woman?
Just another merchant in town.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Another merchant in town? Was it the lady that runs the bookstore?
He literally is like, yes, she's a gnome. An old gnome lady. We've always had trouble with her. She's a menace.
God damn it.
I think maybe our companions would have some brilliant ideas on how to go about helping.
Mm-hmm. So
we will regroup with them and come up with a plan and do our best.
Thank you. Tomorrow morning, just before lunchtime. Thank you so much. Please.
No, we make no promises, but we'll try.
I believe you. I believe in you. And he gives you the bracelet, and he doesn't charge you for it.
God damn it.
Why do none of these people want to take our money?
Oh my God, Mycah, what just happened?
Yeah, we're like outside, like
first that old lady and then him. Oh my God.
All right. And as you guys are thinking through that, it took you a while to walk around the market and stuff like that. So we're gonna say right as you're leaving the this shop, we're gonna and go back to Val and Alara, who are sitting outside the Thundering Lizard, and there's a fight going on, and you see two kind of armored people walking in, and as they walk in, you hear one person say, "What did she say they looked like?" And the other guy goes, "Oh, kind of a mushroomy kind of vibe from one, and rocky vibe from the other." And they walk inside.
Alara, just perhaps those two that they were just describing might happen to be our two other companions.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Mycah here, so she probably stepped in something she shouldn't have, as usual. So, yeah.
I'm surprised Tephra didn't pull her out of it, though. I'll be so honest.
I am too. But, sometimes Mycah can be a little much.
Friendly reminder that Mycah uses they, them.
Oh, they, them. Sorry.
Well, I guess we better figure out what kind of shit they were up to. because that sounds pretty bad.
It does. And who were those guards? Do we know?
You don't. They just walked in. They looked. You don't even know if they were guards. They just looked like two armored people,
Military people.
like weaponized.
They didn't have like a emblem or like
Not that you saw.
Flaming whatever.
No, because like they walked in and you didn't really pay much attention to them until you heard them in your peripheral hearing as they walked in. So.
Okay, and if they walked in here, do you think they're somewhere in the marketplace? Because that seems like it would be pretty close.
It does. Can we like? We're like gonna look around the market, like see if we can see. How far is the thunderous lizard from the jewelry store that they're actually at?
You don't know.
Do we have any like
just gonna look around
spells to like? No, I don't have any spells. I was gonna say, can we like try and?
I just got a light spell. That's about it.
Okay. Just thinking if I had anything fun.
Do we know which way the guards, like the armored people, came from? Which direction? Do we see where they went? Like which?
No, you guys were focused on trying to find the lady who ran away.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it was kind of like you guys were walking off in one direction or looking off in one direction, both scanning, and these two people just come in right off the street.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna. Okay. I was gonna say, should we ask people if they've seen them? But then we don't want to draw attention to them either.
No.
Yeah.
How is the place that we're like? Is it like a square that we're in? Like, are we just on like a street? Like, what kind of is? Where's the location that we can look at? Like,
so you are in a place called the Red Bazaar in the market ward. And so it's more tinted, but the Thundering Lizard is on one edge of it. And then the like other nicer end is on the other edge, right where the Red Bazaar turns from tents to like brick and mortar stores. So kind of on one side of you are the pop-up stalls and stuff that a lot of them are closing down for the night, and other ones that are opening up are like street food stalls are coming out. But a lot of the stores are closing up for the night, everything like that.
Do you think that they would go back to the inn we're supposed to meet them at, the quieter one? Because we could try and see if they went there to rendezvous and see if. Because that's where
I was thinking we could ask around to see where the bookstore is, because we know that's the first place they were going. So at the very least, we could see if they maybe did some shit over there.
Sorry, Davaisha.
I don't know how much trouble you could get in a bookstore, but I don't know.
Yeah, let's try it. It's probably closer.
So we like hail down one of the people that's like kind of breaking down their tent, and they're like, "Hey, can you point us in the direction of the closest bookstore? Like, is there one around here, or a library of some kind? Like,
not in this ward, but they're like not a library. There's a couple bookstores. There's one just around the street corner. That's called Dinosaur Days. I don't know. But it's spelled like days, like in a days. I know that they sell a lot of like titillating literature. You could check that out.
Thank you.
That's probably not it.
No, we like walk away, but like I'm filing that away. Val's got like a list of places she wants to go tomorrow.
This day is great.
This is amazing. All right, so I guess we just kind of walk down the street and like.
All right, you can roll an investigation check to see if you find any other bookstores.
Wait, what are we rolling?
An investigation.
Investigation? Okay.
I got a 19.
Oh, okay. I probably don't even need to roll.
Yeah, that 19 will do it. You hear about two other bookstores, one just called Barnaby's Books and the other called Chult Chapters.
We'll check out both and see.
Yeah. Which one's closer? We should find which one's closer and just head that one first and then figure out the next one.
Barnaby's Books is closer and Chult Chapters is in the opposite direction. They're in opposite directions of one another.
Oh, come on.
Which one's closer to the inn?
Which inn?
The one we're supposed to stay at. The Kaya's House of Repose, or
Yeah.
that's called.
I would say Chulton's chapters is closer to the inn.
All right,
Let's
check that one up.
And then if they're not there, we can just head to the inn and
Yeah. Okay.
see if they meet us there and
Wouldn't
what's
also
going
go to
on.
Barnaby's books if they're not there. You're not also going to Barnaby's books.
It's getting kind of late, and I imagine,
Okay. Well, so you make your way to Chulton chapters, but by the time you get there, the sun has totally set. The nightlife is out. The bookstore is closed. And actually, you consider going to Barnaby's books maybe, but you looking around, like most of the brick and mortar stores are closed.
Okay. All right.
I guess we just got to keep looking. Let's go to the inn, but where would they hide?
I'm hoping the inn.
Right.
Otherwise, I have no idea how the hell to find them.
Or do they even know that they should be hiding?
So you guys are going to the inn.
I'm more worried about that.
All right, we're gonna pause on you, Mycah, Tephra. You've just left the jewelry store. It's getting late. What are you gonna do?
Well, I wanted to also see if there was some place that sold like magic stuff or something.
Mm-hmm.
But if things are closing down, I'm like, let's just scuttle on back to the inn.
Okay.
Yeah, find a food cart on the way to grab a snack.
Ooh. Yeah, you find some good street food skewers, fruit skewers, and meat skewers. If you want to consume, you are welcome to purchase a couple.
One of each.
Yeah.
One of each. And it's the fruit skewers where like the fruit are encased in like this syrupy sugar that is like slightly hardened, so that when it's almost like the icing on a donut, like a glazed donut, over the strawberries and pineapple and a couple other like more tropical like fruits. So
Dual wielding kebabs.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, we definitely should find a disguise or something tomorrow.
You're right.
That's such a funny image. Like you guys are like holding these two skewers and chewing and be like, wow, I should not be making that hand movement. Okay. Like we really should. No, we're in danger. Ha ha ha. Chomp chomp chomp.
I mean, this situation.
It this time.
What can they do but laugh about it?
Yeah, that's fair. And sorry, where did you guys say you were heading?
To the inn, the Kaya's.
All right. So just for the sake of simplicity, let's say that you guys arrive at Kaya's first, just because the other two did spend some time walking to the bookstores trying to find you. And I'm assuming you want to get rooms for the night. It's 1 gold per bed. But the rooms aren't ready yet, so a barmaid encourages you to sit at a table that's like really nice and quiet. It is so calm in here. There are patrons, but it's like everybody respects that the atmosphere is meant to be more low key, a break from the hubbub of the city. And so people just sit and whisper quietly at their tables, and some people eat some stews, other people eat a fish fry. And you two can chomp on your kebabs. The barmaid does give you kind of a look of like, wow, can't believe they brought outside food in here, but okay. And she's happy once you guys decide to book a room or 2 rooms. I don't know what your vibe is, but and yeah, you guys sit for maybe about 10 minutes, and then Val and Alara walk in, and you guys have been reunited. The party was split and nobody died.
Thank God you guys are here. God,
It
we've
was
been
a
all over
close
the city
call.
looking for you.
Yeah. By the way, there are some weird looking soldier guard guys that are looking for you. What happened?
Yeah, what is going on?
Yeah.
I thought we were the ones going to get in trouble.
I know. I just ended up talking with the turtle dude.
We had a very weird moment with a bookstore owner, and then an even weirder moment with the merchant. And
Yeah,
I
it
kind of
was just
turned
a
this up to like meet his
strange time.
husband, and I
Whoa.
really messed with you.
Whoa. Save someone's husband? Also, was
Whoa.
the bookstore owner the dinosaur days? Because if they're weird, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
No.
Let's
It was-
talk
it was
about
trick or
this
treat.
in like a room. Let's not just be out in the open here discussing things. Let's have a nice sit down, chill time when we are maybe a little less obvious about things. We can get to details.
Okay. Did you book a room?
Yeah, we're waiting for it to be ready.
Okay.
Rooms for all of us, or just y'all?
Yeah. How many rooms?
How many beds? More like.
Should we do like 2 beds a room situation and bunk up, or everyone want their own room, or can we do 4 beds to a room? Because I'm scared.
For our safety, we probably should have 1 room, 4 beds.
Hmm.
Then we
All
can
right.
do rotations in terms of keeping guard if we need to.
Okay, so you can tell a barmaid that, and she's like, we can arrange that, but it's still a gold per bed. It's a gold per person.
Okay,
So
girly boy.
it's 4 gold total.
Okay.
And she's like, are you too hungry, or did you have food that you brought inside as well?
I know we already
We
ate.
ate at the bar.
I'll order a drink to try and appease this woman.
What would you like?
Oh, you should try the Tej. It's really good.
It is really
I'll try the
I like
Tej.
it iced,
All
even though
right.
it says it's
And
touristy. but-
The bar owner gives you a look, but she's like, we don't serve it iced here. 1 Tej coming up.
That feels homophobic, but okay.
I
Sorry.
assume we're just gonna split the gold, like we each pay for our own bed.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
doing right now. I'm just removing 1 gold.
All right, and then very quickly your rooms are ready and you guys are able to settle.
Well,
in.
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What if we did 3 beds? Because I met some nice ladies at the bar, and I don't know if I need a bed here.
That's up to you.
Yeah, but don't you think if the guards are after them, shouldn't we protect them? I mean, I know, I get it.
Every man for himself.
They were beautiful.
Come on,
but
we're going into the jungle.
What are we? If we don't make it the night.
Well, then shouldn't we go out, or I go out happy?
Well, it is up to you. But I'm weirdly gonna stay.
All right. I'll pay for a bed, but I may not sleep in it.
All right. A 1 room, 4 beds. The 4th bed you can tell was brought, like, scooted in. It's more of like a cot. But there's a pillow for each of you and a wool blanket.
A gold for a cot? Jeez. Maybe we should have stayed at the Thunderous Lizard.
No, I told that weird lady that's where we'd be.
Oh.
We're off
Oh.
our trail.
Yeah,
All right.
that was a good call.
Explain
Yeah.
it all.
I
Explain
better
what's
call
going
him
on.
to say nothing, but I was panicked.
Panicked over what? What happened? Like, come on, guys. Like,
We were looking for books about the history, about the jungle, about plants and animals and such. We found this pamphlet that said something about just here, read this pamphlet.
okay.
We gotta find the flaming fist or so. And then this
Ugh.
lady saw the map that Syndra gave us, and she wanted 50 gold pieces for it. And I was like, oh, I can give it to you, but I can make a copy. And she said, I'll give you 100 if you give it to me right now. And I said, oh, I definitely can't do that. And she just had a very weird vibe. So she said, told us to stay there. And then she went to the back, and then we left. And then it was a time. I'm sorry.
Well, what about this guy whose husband? Like, how'd you run into a guy whose husband is being executed? Like,
no,
what?
his bracelet. And he was
Tephra
crying.
wanted
So
the
that's what
bracelet.
happened.
Oh.
And his husband is going to be executed tomorrow in this like pit where there's velociraptors and other things, and if he escapes he can be free, but like he's probably going to be killed, and this guy is distraught, and he said it was the weird gnome lady who accused his husband, so it's all connected. I don't know what's going on or what we're going to do. It was a lot all at once.
Okay, so could
You
we
should commit a crime and
guy
frame him.
out? Like, I mean, Val's pretty good at that.
Yeah, we could. Well, first,
Or would they just catch him again? Like, how do we know what the situation is in terms of if he breaks out he is free or no? He has to break out in the actual Thunderdome.
In the arena, I'm assuming is where he needs to beat his competitor or the Velociraptor and free himself. What did he also say?
Oh man.
Interferers are heavily frowned upon. So
Yeah.
not
Heavily
sure
frowned upon as in murdered if they try, or
probably.
Yeah.
Well, they'd have to actually see us or recognize us. I mean, you are
I think jumping
rogue.
into a pit would
Well, can we like? I'm wondering if we can break this guy out and then they can just go on the run, right? I mean, I know he'd have to give up his jewelry stand, but he could set up shop somewhere else. Because I feel like if
be.
this
Flaming fists tend to not take lightly to that, though. These assholes tend to do. I've had quite a few dealings with that.
Because I'm just thinking, like, this lady seems like she has it after them, and she's not gonna stop even if he does escape. Maybe she's after something. I mean, she was after your map.
Yeah.
Why does she want the map? You know what? Well, we should probably figure out what to do with that guy, but I kind of want to break into her bookshop.
Yeah, or maybe if she thinks she's going to break into our room at the other inn, we could trap her and we could question her.
Ooh, good idea. So we should probably go get a room at the Thunderous Lizard. Or you two should.
Decoys, yes. And then we'll be waiting. We can take her down. We'll tie her up.
Beat the shit out of her. I will drop kick the elderly.
Torture her, whatever we need to do.
Val starts to pull out her dagger again.
Mycah is very overwhelmed by what's going on. They did not expect this turn.
Yeah, but I mean, we could find out about this guy's husband, and we could find out potentially why she wanted that map. I mean, I feel like this is a win-win, and she doesn't sound like a great person, so I don't really have any problems with this. What are you thinking?
My plan was to just drop this on Syndra's lap in the morning.
We can't put that on her. I mean,
No.
We already have the, like, first of all, we did meet an older lady that had a vision of.
Oh my gosh. Alara.
Yeah.
I am so sorry I didn't say this.
Oh no, what?
When you went to pay for your room.
Okay. Oh God, I died.
Your coin purse was gone.
Oh,
the old lady took my.
So I'm so sorry, Becca, but I need you to remove your funds. And someone else would have had to cover Becca's Alara's room for the night.
Okay, so I realized this as I was trying to pay for the hotel room, basically, or the bed.
Or maybe let's just, for the sake of like flow of the conversation, because I feel like you would focus on this. Maybe Val paid for you both, paid the barmaid, and then you were during the middle of this conversation about to pay her back. And right now, in this moment, you notice your coin purse is gone.
Okay, so I'm talking about the old lady, and then I'm getting out my gold, and I'm like, oh my God. That old lady, she took my gold.
And I, for the sake of total fairness, because I know you are carrying on like a significant amount of gold, we're going to say Alara and all of you are taught to keep multiple caches on you. So she just would have taken your like.
Okay, so I just took it all out.
I'm so sorry. I've decided that's too harsh. I'm going to say.
I'll give you a mooch. It's fine.
No, do you remember how much you had?
I had 84 gold.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to say that she took 30 gold from you.
Okay, so 54 gold. Okay. That's not too bad. But oh my God, but now this makes me like completely, maybe it wasn't a vision. It was just her way of stealing my gold. So I don't know how much we can really. I thought we had a lead, but I'm thinking it wasn't a lead.
What's your guys' old lady look like?
Oh God, you think it's the same one?
Just
Crazy
an
eyes.
old gnome lady, yeah, or something in her eyes.
I don't think she was a gnome.
No, I was
Okay.
human-ish.
Just a grifter. I can't believe I fell for it.
No, it's
Happens to
I
the best
feel
of us.
something weird about her, but I just because it sounded a little too dreamy, visiony, but kind of. Well, all right. Well, you know what? Then the only lead we do have is the bookstore
woman.
We gotta trap her, and she's probably gonna bring people with her, so we gotta be prepared for that too. Take it out quick, but we need her so we can question her.
Yeah.
I mean, you said that those two people walked in looking for us, so they're already there.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. It could have been the people that she sent.
Could be gone.
So she might not have gone herself, and they're already there looking for you. That is a very good point.
You think she lives above that bookstore? Or in the bookstore?
Yeah.
I say we could come back to our breaking in theory.
Yeah. It's worth a
I
shot.
love to break in.
I mean,
Yeah, or at least just to keep an eye, because if those soldiers come back, yeah, I think we should go to the bookstore, or at least around it, and do a little stakeout.
Could Mycah maybe make like a fake version of the map? That's not accurate, and we can go if she lives in or around the bookstore. Go and be like, we changed our minds. We would like to sell this to you. Here is your copy.
yeah, I can give it a shot.
Do I still get to punch her?
I forget about this and think it was a dream, because that's how I'm feeling right now.
No.
Question her though.
She's our lead. She wanted that map for a reason. Why would she want that map?
And why would she send? I mean, she sent people after you, like,
Clearly
and
to find that map.
she set up some innocent guy. At least we think he's innocent. And for what reason? There has to be a reason. She's after something. We need to find out what.
I'm not approving of these statements. I'm just acknowledging the comments.
Yeah, I was thinking of copying the map for us anyway, but make like a not quite accurate version for this lady because I don't trust her, but she won't know that it's not accurate, hopefully.
I think that's a
she's
good
got an
idea
eidetic memory.
to have a backup as well. I like that idea.
At the very least, we didn't get into a fight during our bar crawl, so I'm itching for one now.
Right. I really want to question her.
I know. Especially because we found out a little bit, but mostly about stuff in the jungle itself.
Yeah, and honestly, like, now the only accurate information I have is the snapping turtle information.
Which, I'm not saying we should abandon this quest that we've been given by the higher-ups and go after that snapping turtle with gems in its back, but...
I did lose a lot of money, I mean, I could make up for it.
Yeah, just for perspective, Becca.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking correctly, you've lost about a year's wages.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. For you.
I know, I fell for it. Oh, I deserve that. Okay, well, King Toba is the turtle that has the jewels in its back. But we should probably help like a living person, husband. And I really do want to kidnap this woman and question her.
Yeah.
Might have to roll to make this map.
Oh yeah. And I'm gonna say Mycah doesn't need to roll to understand the amount of time it would take to make an accurate copy. Like, map making isn't something you do in a night.
Mm-hmm.
Be over time.
Yeah. I would say you'd have to roll every single day for like 4 days to make a copy of the map. And granted, I mean, a believable copy is what I'm trying to say. Like you can just make a fake version of the map tonight, but it's not. It's you
She's
don't
not
know.
gonna fall for it.
Well, I mean, she might. She looked old. She might have bad eyesight. You don't know.
I know it's going to take a while to make an accurate map.
Yeah. In the meantime,
Make a fake one, a small one, one that whatever. All we need her to do is open the door. Honestly, we could bring the real map because, there's 4 of us, 1 old lady. Bring the real map. Tell her we're going to sell it to her because we're greedy people, and quick little cheeky stab, shove her in there, and question her. Little brute force never hurt nobody, except for the people that you're brute forcing.
That's okay. She sounds like a bad person anyway.
I'm willing to hesitantly go along with this because I really want to know what she went to the back for. But I didn't want to stay in that moment. I feel more comfortable with 4 against 1.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure she probably went to go get those 2 guys. So
I want to make just one small corner of the map so that it looks like if I were to fold it out, it would be showing it, but I don't want to have to draw the rest of it, just so that we have a fake, so that if she's like, how do I know that's the actual map? I can just show her that corner.
I will say that if you want to do that, you will have to give up your long rest.
It's not worth it.
You'll still be able to sleep. You just won't get a long rest, and you'll gain a point of exhaustion.
I feel like this is going to take too much time. We should just go there. And
Let's just go over there. Come on.
I don't want her to get this map.
Yeah, I don't either. And maybe we should put it somewhere safe where we know no one can get to it, and then go after her. Let's not keep it on us.
Mm-hmm.
Because in case something goes wrong, we do not want them to take.
Which comes back to my idea. We just break in. You don't need to show her the map.
Right. Let's just break
I don't think we should leave the map unattended. Because there's only 2 places to stay around here. If we're not there, then obviously we're here.
Well,
there's more places to stay. These are just the 2 that we were told about.
Yeah. Well,
I think the map is safe in the room.
Okay.
Now, does anyone have a spell, a hiding spell or something?
No.
None of us pick spells. This is where I normally would have this is the first time I've done a character without a lot of spell casting, and it's you just don't realize how nice it is to have spells. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest though. If someone sees those 2 coming out of here, and somehow they manage to figure out that because they obviously know they're not at the Thunderous Lizard.
Yeah.
I think the safest place the map can be is with us. Because what if we have to get out of town? What if we have to get out of Dodge? You don't want to have to come back and pick up the map. I think the safest place the map is right close to the chest. But
okay, do you want to hold on to the map?
I can definitely.
I feel like you have the best shot of getting away if we get caught.
That's a very good point.
It's true. So
yeah, let's give the map to Val.
So I believe
put it
Tephra.
in
I believe Tephra is the person who had the map.
Oh, well then, Tephra, if you agree.
Take it.
All right, I put it in a secret pocket in my clothes.
She puts it in her Birkin. That's got little shooters and
in my tote. No. I put it really close. I put it underneath all of my clothing, basically. Put it in my bra.
Yeah, boob pocket. That's my move. Always put it in the boob.
Always.
Yeah.
Boob pocket.
So are we going to try for a ruse, or are we just going to go brute force?
We're going brute force. I mean, rogue brute force. We're not going to just bust in. We're going to try and sneak in.
Off we go.
Okay, we might as well.
Let's do it.
All right. So all 4 of you know the way because all 4 of you have stopped by Chult chapters today. I would say it's still the nightlife here is great. People are still on the streets. Even though shops have closed, it is still bustling. And like you could even see that like a second market has popped up for people who like for vendors who are more nocturnal, right? Like who are to escape the heat of the day of Chult. They're selling their goods in the evening twilight. So the streets are crowded. You walk to Chulton chapters, and I mean there are people milling about everywhere. And it's closed and locked. And just to give you kind of the vibe of like what it looks like. Let's go back to, I mean, it's night sky, but it's this. So there aren't breaks between the buildings. It's one long row of buildings with entrances to individual stores every couple of feet.
So there's no
there's no back entrance that we could.
Yeah.
It like you walk over a bit and there is a secondary street. So you kind of are thinking that each building is like bifurcated and there's one shop that faces one street and one shop that faces the other.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that's more difficult.
All right, y'all. Like as we're walking, like be like, okay, everybody, act drunk, act revelry, make a lot of noise and a lot of everything. Just pretend you are having the best night of your life. And like I sling my arm around Alara and like just acting like a complete buffoon and fool.
Yeah, there's minstrels about, and one of them approaches you and like plays on their lute for a little bit, and in the hopes that you'll dance, and in the hopes that you'll give a tip.
I'm keeping a major eye on my now and being like holding it while I'm dancing.
Yeah.
Can I like grab like Tephra and be like, dance with him?
A little shimmy.
Okay, everybody, roll me a group. Are we gonna say deception? I mean, just roll me just a general deception check. But this isn't like the streets aren't teeming with guards. Like it's just regular people out. So you're just trying to pass off the vibe of just tourists having a good time.
11.
Okay, Tephra.
19.
Okay, Alara.
22.
Val.
6.
That's fine. As a group, it was 3 people way surpassed the DC, so it's fine. Yeah, you guys know, like people, like initially Val is too into it. Val's like, oh yeah, like this is the best night of my life, and people like look over, like it's directly drawing attention, right? And then Alara's like, take it down a notch, just a little bit, and you guys sit and chat and laugh and giggle. You're just like girlies in a daily having a good time, and yeah, eventually, like you guys are part of the crowd, and the crowd shuffles and mills, and you get a couple of glancing passes, but nobody is like being like, what are these people doing here? Because you're very of the crowd. There are other groups of people having a good time and chatting, and maybe they're also about to break into a store. You don't know, but for the most part, they're pockets of people just hanging out. Yeah.
Okay, did we get the bookstore lady's name at any point?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
We don't ask names in this campaign.
I feel like we should be scoping out the storefront, trying to figure out how we're going to get in. So should we do like a perception roll or?
Well, I'm sorry. What are you trying to do, Beck?
Just like while we're pretending to be like partying and stuff like that, we should actually be scoping out how we're going to be breaking in.
Yeah, so I would say to scope out. That's tough because you're both performing, so you can't do like a close investigation check. But I would still say it's an investigation check over a perception check.
Investigation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna.
So should we all roll for that?
I would say just Alara.
I got a 12.
Good. A 12. Alara, you are looking around, and there are some awnings, just like there are awnings on that back alley. I don't know if you can see, but there's like an overhead awning. It's not a balcony. It's just an awning.
Okay.
That covers the door. But and in some of the buildings there is a window above the awning, but on the bookstore there's not a window.
Okay.
And but just from looking at to you, the only real point of entry looks like the front door.
So I'm sort of or not whispering because it's loud, but like trying to talk quietly to Val and say like, okay, all I see is an awning. Are we going in through the front? What are you thinking? Or should we go into the store next door? This is your forte. So
I think considering the way the buildings are, front door is probably going to be the best way because there's no guarantee you could get in from either one of the stores on the other side. And I'd rather not spook an unsuspecting folk. But my idea is that, we're drunk in revelry, we take a pause on the side, we just kind of lean against the building, shitty chatting as if we're just catching our breath. And I'll use my skills to get us in.
Okay, so should we leave anybody outside? Like Tephra, Mycah, keep guard, or what are we thinking? We're all going in? What's
On second thought, I'm thinking maybe we shouldn't break and enter on our first night here. I'm just really thinking about Syndra, she's so weak. This could possibly kill her.
No, she's stronger than that. Come on, if she didn't break into some buildings in her day. Come on.
Maybe we should find the two guys that were at the thunderous lizard.
We could do a scope out and see if they're at the thunderous lizard. What is it?
Thunderous lizard.
Lizard, yeah.
I thought it was lizard, but for some reason that sounded wrong. I mean, we could scope out and see if they're there. I mean, that would be good to know before we break in. So maybe we should investigate that real quick and get an idea.
That's the move.
Yeah.
All right. We're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Okay. So you head to the thunderous lizard?
Yes.
All right. It's now, I would say, I apologize for the weird time warping, but I'm going to say, why not? We're approaching 10 p.m. at this point, okay? And now you understand why the thunderous lizard has its name. Gosh, this place is a party. It's so loud. The walls thrum with the beat of multiple minstrels having a battle, like a dance battle kind of thing.
Dance revolutions going on.
The kitchen is closed, but lots of like bar snacks are out, like salted nuts and popped corn and like all sorts of things that just bowls that are getting kind of grody at this time of night, and drinks are being smashed against the wall. But for the most part, it's not a violent vibe the way that it was right when you guys left. Like people are having a good time, and an occasional punch or two is thrown, but for the most part, everybody's in a good mood.
Have you gone in yet? Because I was
just as you approach.
Oh,
this is
okay. Gotcha.
I'll say that you see the bar snacks because there's patio chairs set up outside.
Oh,
There's a couple people out on the patio drinking, but like a couple of the chairs are turned over, and like one person's just like dancing on a table.
Okay.
So.
Because I think Mycah and Tephra need to stay out here if those guards are looking for you. And we'll go in, and because we saw them briefly, but I think we can recognize them. I mean,
I assume you give us a description.
Yeah, but I just don't want them to see you because otherwise they're going to come after you. Although, do we want to try and question them? Yeah.
Draw them out.
We could draw them out and question them first.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah, if they're in there still. Let's check. So
well, we'll definitely find out because they're looking for them. So
just
best way to get them.
Me and Val are going in to check it out.
Okay.
And then like at some point we'll signal if they're in there, we'll signal to Mycah and Tephra to come in and sort of stay at the doorway-ish area to be bait, and then we'll follow them after the two, hopefully if they're in there, and the two men go after them.
Yeah, we don't want them to make any connection between us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you walk in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You walk in, blasted with noise and smells and the sounds of revelry and fun. Roll me a perception check. Who's both of you.
Both. Okay.
23.
I got 17.
Both of you. So it is like a sore thumb off in the corner at one table, two men sit, and they're watching the entryway, and they like, one is facing the wall, facing the kind of, did I say it was in the Thunderous Lizard that had the smoky fireplace? Yeah, because that's where the lady was sitting. One is kind of just facing the Thunderous Lizard. He's beefy looking, thuggish. And the other is a very handsome man, and he's the one facing the doorway, and he kind of makes eye contact with you, but with no look of interest. Oh, do you wave at him? Do you specifically call his attention? Because initially he was just kind of like just a check, right?
Like I like wave at him like a little bit, and then like wave at like the person next to him, like, and then like at the bar. It's like I'm kind of just waving at everybody. Like,
okay. So you notice he like for a second he squints at you, but then he like kind of just dismisses it and is like, okay, it's just somebody being super friendly. Okay. And then he's nursing a warm cup of tea.
Okay, that's them. That's for sure them. So should we? Okay, I think we need to get to the sides so that when Mycah and Tephra walk in and they go after him, we can follow right after. I guess we're gonna signal Mycah and Tephra to become bait.
Okay, Mycah and Tephra, what do you do?
Act natural.
What does that mean? You just like walk in and you're like,
go up to the bar.
Okay, so you walk in and you go up to the bar.
We know. Remember, you guys are just supposed to stay near the doorway so that
I'm sorry.
You don't want to get stuck in the bar.
Wait, I don't want them to think that we're onto them.
No, slowly, a slow walk so that you don't get too far in.
Yeah, we're not like.
I'm gonna pull a little bit of a DM move here.
Okay.
That Alara, I respect it. That was not. You guys did not strategize before you guys came in.
I didn't say it though. I said
did you
stand at the doorway? Yes.
Oh, did I? Did you? Okay.
I said that. I don't know if anyone heard me.
Before you and Alara walked in. Okay, we'll see. But then that's okay. So Davaisha,
Tephra could have forgot. So
no. I'll leave it up to Davaisha. Davaisha, do you think Tephra forgot, or do you think Tephra would have remembered the strategy? And then you guys can act accordingly.
Where is the bar in relation to the door? Because the way I pictured it is like if this is the door, the bar is like along a side wall.
Yeah. So if I'm you guys and those windows behind me are the door into the bar, the like bar is off to my right, and then the dance area and all the like tables are throughout the whole floor, and then right in front of me, far that way though, is the fireplace, and right off to the left side of the fireplace is where the two men are sitting.
Yeah, because I figured we'd go to the bar, but like stay up by the front of the room.
Okay. Yeah, because the bar does stretch along the whole right side of the front room of the
which is kind of in character because Mycah would completely ignore Alara's advice.
Fair. That's fair.
And now Alara is fuming and angry and like, I can't believe they didn't stay by the door.
All right. So Mycah, Tephra, you two walk in. Val, Alara, and you walk up right to the bar. Val, Alara, do you guys make any move or anything like that?
I will kind of move over to like, are there like tables kind of like to the left of the entrance? Probably like walk over to there and start like chitty chatting with the people that are like enjoying the revelry, but like keeping an eye on, because the guys are off to the left, right?
You're keeping an eye on them though?
Yes, I'm keeping an eye, but I'm like chitty chatting, I'm being a friendly drunk.
Okay, so you do notice that the handsome man who was facing the doorway has clocked Mycah and Tephra, and he's like talking to the person at his table, but he's making no move to stand up or anything like that. He's just watching them. Yeah.
Do we notice
is he an earshot
description?
Sorry, Mycah.
So they gave us a description of these people. Do we notice?
You can roll a perception check. Both of you, if you want Tephra, if you also want Tephra to look.
Yes.
22.
22.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, perfect. So yeah, you both, as you walk in, you do see that again, it's like a sore thumb. This is such a loud party house, and yet there are these two kind of stoic men sitting on, like they look like they belong at the other one, right? The like house of repose. And they're just sitting there quietly nursing 2 glasses of tej and kind of speaking to each other in hushed tones.
So they have not made a move yet.
No, they have not. And Mycah and Tephra, I'm going to say when you get up to the bar, the bartender sees you and he like, his eyes flash towards a different part of the room and he looks back at you and he's like, 1 second. And he says, have a seat. And there is 1 open spot left at the bar. So it's up to you who gets to sit and who's going to stand. And he pulls out a very nicely designed, ornate with like gilded gold flakes wrapped around the edges, bottle of wine and places it in front of you. And he says, compliments of the gentleman in the back.
Oh, do not drink that.
And he places 2 wine glasses in front of you and pours some out, and it comes out in this beautiful bright cherry color.
Why don't we enjoy this outside? I mean, the weather is so beautiful this evening. I think it'd be lovely.
Oh, yes. We should do that. Are they within earshot?
Who?
The 2 men?
No, it is way...
They can see you, right?
It's way too loud.
Yeah, okay.
Way too loud. The bartender says, I do... Wait, what? Did he have an Australian accent back earlier today? He says, I do think Azon would like to speak with you.
Who?
Azon. And he looks to the back.
Well, he can come find us outside.
I wouldn't make much trouble with the compatriots of the merchant princes.
Any trouble started would not be by us. That's on them. And I'm going to take the bottle and go outside, and hopefully Tephra's following, because Mycah inside is screaming.
Okay. Okay, so you guys walk outside. Val and Alara, you see immediately that when Mycah and Tephra move to leave, the handsome man in kind of well-tailored but also breathable fabric gets up and kind of does a pat on the shoulder to the beefier guy, who also rises and kind of fixes his clothing wear, and they start heading out of the bar.
Do they go past me?
It's if you let them, they do, because they don't notice you. They're not taking stock of you.
And they're the ones the wine is from.
That is what the bartenders seem to indicate. That's the vibe you're getting.
Okay. I think I'm kind of gonna like drunkenly throw myself on the handsome man and be like, "Hey, what's up?" Also, while trying to pick his pocket.
And okay, he's gonna very politely try and lift his arm off, or your arm off him, and say, "I'm married, love," and but you're welcome to roll a sleight of hand check, and he will.
Oh.
Can't believe Val is picking pockets while this is going down.
I'm like, my God, I definitely think we should have just sat at the table with them while there's a crowd of people inside the building.
Well, if something happens, I don't want anybody to be caught in the crossfire, so I figure there's less people outside.
Oh,
I got
I'm
a
more of
13.
Use human shield type of person.
Now he got a 1, so you are successful. Hold on, let me really quickly see what you. Oh shit!
I'm trying to see if there's anything we can get to like know who he is. Like I'm trying to like pull out like not just money.
This is a pocket picking situation. You can't be like investigating, right?
No, I know, but like
in there,
a wallet or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not like specifically like trying to get money.
Okay.
Like I'm just trying to pull out whatever I can.
Yeah.
To, like, ID him in some way.
So you kind of reach around him, and he does have within the slips of his loose-fitting clothing in our thing, there is a slit right here that has a pocket in it. and you and it would like rest right here on him. And as you are doing this, you kind of, and as he's moving your hand off you, you're able to pull out a piece of parchment. And he goes, "I'm married, love," and continues walking.
Okay. And when the bartender said who they were, what I didn't hear what you said. What was his name? He was like,
you would not have heard because you were not. You were. It's too loud, and he said it directly to Mycah and Tephra.
Okay. So I'm then
probably
just following them out behind them.
Mm-hmm. All right.
As we walk out, can I do some like, I don't know, some check on this wine? Is it poisoned?
No.
Because I could use a drink.
I will say, roll an investigation check, I guess, or maybe a medicine check. Actually, maybe.
Ooh, okay.
Was the wine already opened?
The bartender opened it and poured 2 glasses.
Oh, that's an 8 on the medicine check.
You just wouldn't even know where to start. Like you've done sometimes in the training at the whatchamacallit, the advisory in Sharon. You have done some like poison work and stuff, but there's like kits that you need and ingredients to test for things, and you don't really have anything like that on you. It looks like a beautiful bottle of wine, like just, and it's a great, interesting color. You're used to like darker reds and Sharon. This is like, it looks like it might be like spicy and tropical, and it looks appealing.
Okay, I'm like, Mycah, can you check this if you have like, I don't know, good insight, good medicine? Because I would really love it right now.
You're saying this as the 2 men walk out, and the handsome man in the well-tailored robes says, "Friends, welcome to the beautiful city of Port Nyanzaru. I assume you're not local." And he is talking to both of you. And before you can answer, he says, "If you would be so kind, I would love to sit for a moment and have a chat while we drink this beautiful Chult wine."
I'll gesture to an empty table and say, "We can sit and talk."
Thank you. First, he says, "May I ask what your names are?"
You may.
he kind of laughs and he goes, "I apologize for my rudeness. I am Azon Talieri. Talieri. Azon Talieri. And this is my compatriot, Janos." And then he kind of looks at you expectantly for hopefully names.
Mycah's gonna introduce himself as Alara.
Okay.
Because they're like, "I gotta go with a fake name. Yeah. I can't think of a fake name."
Okay.
I'll introduce myself as Tephra.
And he shakes both of your hands.
And I'm gonna like kind of begrudgingly pass him my glass of wine. Have a sip.
And he says, "Much obliged." And he does. He takes a drink.
Okay. And I take it back.
Alara and I'm going to be kind of, since nothing seems hostile yet, I'm kind of like outside, like just pretending to be like hanging outside of the front tavern, but keeping an eye on them to see how things progress.
Okay. Sounds good.
Can Val, like, because she's a rogue, can she like stealthily kind of,
Please check that
hide in the shadows of the
Absolutely.
bar?
Roll me stealth.
Did you read the parchment that you stole or no?
Not yet. I've like tucked it away with the map. 16.
16 for stealth.
Yeah.
So as Azon sits down, Janos is going to do a scan. He's giving bodyguard vibes, and I'm going to see if he sees you. He scans, and his eyes land on you. He keeps scanning though, so you're not certain if, like, you think he clocked you, but like he thinks he's aware you're there, but you're not sure if he's aware that you are invested in what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Bear.
All right. So Mycah, Tephra, and Azon are sitting down at a table under. Oh, let's just give it the
night
vibe,
sky.
right? Under the night sky. You know, beautiful, beautiful Port Nyanzaru night sky. What brings? Wait. So Alara and Tephra, what is bringing you to Chult?
Research on the jungle.
A beautiful jungle. It is stunning and dangerous and unforgiving.
And quite fascinating.
Indeed. We have many a people come to this port and leave the city walls. Many come back and many don't. And do you have an idea for your excursion? Have you acquired your chart of exploration yet?
No, we only found out about that this morning, and it's a day and a half's travel, correct?
By ship. Well, it's more of like if you. Well, it depends on your funds. There are people who trek to Port Balerion. Takes about 8 days. It's a day's sail and then another day and a half of hiking if you do take a ship.
Are there, if I can ask, are there any ways we can acquire our charter here or somewhere closer?
And he kind of looks around, and I will say this. All of you are battlefield aware enough to recognize that suddenly, even with all of the fervor and happiness and dancing that's going on in the streets, everybody is giving you guys wide berth. And there are glances towards Azon, and, you know, nobody's coming up and bothering you. And granted, you've got a big beefcake standing above you. But there's like there were people at a table next to your table, and when you guys sat down, they kind of got hushed, and then they got up and they moved to a farther away table to give you guys space. And Azon says, in fact, I do think I could help you with that. I'm part of a house in these lands. And
are you the merchant prince himself?
That's my husband, Jabal.
Oh, okay.
For the sake of complete honesty, I was informed that you had a bit of a run-in this morning with one of the odder characters in town. Carmen is nice enough, but she's always, you know, trying to prove her loyalty to my husband. Jabal, and he kind of gets this sparkle in his eyes, says, was a great adventurer and took of the bounty of the jungle, and that's how he built his wealth and became one of the merchant princes. And I've been by his side some 20 years. And it's Sorry?
I said lovely. Congratulations.
Thank you. We just celebrated our anniversary 2 days ago, so it's been a good time. Hold on, now I have to write that down because I impromped it.
And I'm like, oh, if Carmen means well and is innocent, please tell her to be less intense.
I know. She's something. Here's the reality of it. My husband Jabal it's his prerogative to make sure that while we understand that adventurers are never truly safe in the jungle, there is no such thing as safety outside the walls of Port Nyanzaru. It is his greatest hope that adventurers are as safe as they can be. He is the merchant prince of basically the wilderness and adventures. So if you want a guide, all guides are sanctioned through him. If you want help exploring Chult, he's kind of, it's his faction you go to. And common relayed to us that you have something very unique, something that people have been trying to create for a very long time, and that is a map of our peninsula's coastline, exceedingly detailed. And I just, we are always on the lookout for adventurers who show great promise, and I would love to know more about you and why you're here and your talents, and if an agreement can be made that we could work together and be mutually beneficial to each other.
And I'm like trying to slyly poke Mycah, like, don't let me do all the talking.
Yeah, Mycah is kind of just like completely like, they do not deal with people very often. They talk about adventuring all the time, like it's all they want to do, but like this is the first time they're really faced with some sort of
this is so weird to me. What?
like not controversy, but like the first time they've been faced with something kind of uncomfortable, and they just have no idea. They're way out of their depth, so they're just
okay,
stressed.
I'm gonna take a very long sip of the wine that he took a sip from to give myself a moment to think.
Okay.
I'm going to walk over to Val because I want to get her take on what we're witnessing, because it doesn't seem like, from where we're at, it doesn't seem violent or like it's everyone clearing out is obviously a red flag, but like I just want to kind of get her take on what she thinks is going on.
I'm within earshot, right? Like I
think
hear kind of what they're saying.
That's hard because I would say honestly, you on a normal day, yes, but because you're next to the thunderous lizard, not really, because you've tried to squirrel away, but also hide within sight, and so like you're among the revelry, so it's
so I can like see the faces that are like happening though.
Yes.
What do you?
I can't really hear what's happening, but
yeah, it doesn't look hostile, but that could change very quickly. But do you think
should we
can
swoop in and
I don't know, should we
join?
go in undercover, or do we go in, daggers ablazing?
Or since it's not hostile, do we sneak away and break into that bookseller's shop now?
Oh, but what if it does turn hostile? I mean, I'm kind of with you on that. Well, you know what? Why don't I keep an eye on what's going on here? And since you have more, it'd be much easier for one person to break in than two, especially with your skills. So you could kind of sneak in and out and get an idea, and then I can keep an eye on them and make sure that they don't get. I mean, I don't know if I can take on that guy by myself, but I will definitely try.
No, it's.
I mean, he's big.
Dahlia's first rule is always stay together, stick to the party.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to go snooping around that bookstore, see what that bookseller is hiding.
I know.
We'll keep an eye, see what's what's
so
going on. I'd rather not have them die before we know what that's happening.
Okay, so let's just keep our distance is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he asked for like information on why we're here to do research and stuff.
Yeah, the conversation, he seems very he's like being very friendly, and he seems interested in you.
Can we do a vibe check?
You may
Yes, please.
absolutely do a vibe check. Both of you are trying to do vibes on him? Okay, so this first roll is for Mycah. All right.
What is this, insight?
What's your modifier?
+3.
All right, and this next roll is for Tephra. And what is your modifier?
+5.
This is insight on Azon. All right. Mycah, you are in your head and trying to get a read and just inherently nervous. So it's pretty hard for you to feel comfortable right now. You don't feel comfortable. You think this person's kind of hard to read. Tephra, you're vibing with this guy. You're like, there's just something about him that is, and not like in a romantic way, but like you're just like, there's a kindred spirit here or something. He seems genuinely interested in you guys. He like during the course of the conversation, he seems like he's legitimately apologetic for the way Carmen seemed to kind of like scare you earlier today, and he does tell you like, yeah, she's pretty intense, and but my husband keeps her around because you know, she's so knowledgeable and she really has a pulse on the knowledge that gets passed through this city. But you really are trusting him.
Okay. I finished the entire glass of wine, and what was the question you asked again? I'm sorry.
He let me just say this for the sake of time. He's going to say, look, I just wanted to sit here, make the connection with you, let you know that I think we can help each other. I think there's a way that we can be mutually beneficial to each other. You have something that could change the, you know, the way that adventuring works right now in Chult, and could keep adventurers safer, which is really important to me and to my husband. And we would love to work with you. So I know it's late and I know it's your first night and you're probably tired from traveling. And I know you're probably eager to get out into the jungle and, you know, but I could try and see what I can do to save you time, and you try and see if I can get you a charter of exploration. Why don't we make an appointment? You come to my husband's palace in the are the palaces in the Merchant Ward? Sorry, give me a second. I think they are. The Merchant Prince's villas. Well, there's a neighborhood that's just where all the merchant princes live. Any tuk-tuk will know how to get you there. Are you free tomorrow?
Yes. And in the, you know, for the sake of full honesty, the map is not my intellectual property, so I do have someone I need to discuss this with, but I am willing to meet tomorrow. What time are we meeting, Syndra?
So
we're after breakfast, right?
Yes, and again, it's totally up to you what you guys do about it. You have Syndra at dawn right before breakfast, and then theoretically there's also the guy at the Executioner's Run right before lunch.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, oh my god, I don't want him to die. But like, is that something to bring up here? Mycah's flustered, and they're hating themselves for it because they're like, this is my first chance to actually do something, and I can't.
He
Alara
notices. he becomes aware of your distress, and he kind of gives you a friendly smile, and he pushes a glass of wine towards you.
Chugging it.
And as soon as it's empty and you lay it down, Janos picks up the wine bottle and smashes it across your head. No, I'm just kidding. He refills your glass of wine.
What a turn.
All right.
So yes,
perhaps
we could to the proprietor of the map, and then we do have a bit of a situation. I'm not sure I should bring this up to you, but something about the flaming fists and an execution happening in the early afternoon. But I'm thinking maybe, you know, a little bit after midday we could meet.
Well, I was thinking we could have you over at the villa for dinner, but and a lunch could work.
Oh, you know what? Dinner I think would be a much better time slot. May I ask you about the flaming fist situation and this arena where people are sent to die?
look, the Flaming Fist can be a bit overzealous, but they do their best to keep the city safe. Executioner's Run is not necessarily my favorite element to Port Nyanzaru, but it is a part of the culture here. And, you know, the one thing I take comfort in is that they do have a chance. I mean, people do survive. So in many ways, it's fairer than just blanket hanging all criminals. So,
But what about the people who may not have committed said crime? You know, is there a thorough investigation?
oh, I have full confidence in the justice system in this city.
So he's going to be no help with that.
You are welcome.
I'm trusting this guy. I trust him. Now
You're-
I'm second thinking the merchant.
Now you're doing what?
I'm second thinking the merchant. Like, maybe
Oh,
his
okay.
husband was a criminal.
You are welcome to try and, if your intention is to try and like persuade him to do some action, you are welcome to try and roll a persuasion check. I just need to know what you're trying to persuade him to do.
I don't even know what I'm trying to do. This glass of wine's going to my head.
All right. So he kind of slaps the table good humoredly and stands up and gives Janice a nod, and he says, I really appreciate your time tonight, and I hope that I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and introducing you to my husband, and I hope that we can be of great help to each other. Enjoy your first night in the beautiful Jewel City. And he
It's a pleasure meeting you.
and he just walks off into the crowd with his bodyguard following behind him.
Are there
yeah,
public trash cans in the
Sure.
area?
yeah.
As
Mike's
soon
gonna
as
throw
they're
up?
like out of sight, Mike is gonna walk up to one and just throw up.
Wait, are you doing that on purpose, or do you want to roll a Constitution check?
No, they're just sick from the stress of it all.
Oh, okay, got it. I thought you were saying like you're trying to get the poison out of you or
That's
something.
what I thought too.
No, it's just
Um,
stress.
All right. But I will say the wine is, I mean, I hate wine, but this is good wine. It's chocolatey and
I'm taking the bottle with us.
yeah, and it's got a great like atmosphere to it. This is a good kind of wine drunk. And yeah, this is where we're gonna end the session. You guys have a full schedule for the next day, potentially. A meeting with Syndra in the morning, an appointment potentially at the Executioner's Run to save maybe an innocent man's life, and then a dinner with a merchant prince and his husband. So thank you guys for
I've been busy.
session 2. Okay, we're making it a tradition. Everybody, a round of applause. Nobody died. You guys did so well. I loved all the role play and the exploration. You guys asked great questions. Yeah, and also don't forget that just through attending, everybody is awarded 300 XP. Let me know if you need me to do that for you. Actually, I will do that for you. Do not worry about it. I will do that for you. Everybody who was here watching in the chat and leaving comments, everybody who potentially is watching the replay, I don't know why, but the last live stream ended up getting over like 500 views randomly. Very strange. Not sure what happened there. But Malin, thank you for every single comment. You are gorgeous. Does anybody have any final words to say before we hop off for the evening or the morning, I guess? Oh, what time is it?
Where are we?
In the world.
What day is it?
Seriously. Okay, well, we will backstage get our next game session scheduled. And for everybody else, thank you so much for joining us. I actually do have an outro today that I made. Bye.